right, guys, we are here at the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Open Championship here in Atlantic City. I'm your host, Drea Renee, and over the past 2 weeks, one of East Coast's most premier poker festivals has been non-stop action. It all started with the $600 deep stack kickoff, followed by the Borgata Almighty Stack, which attracted a massive field. But now all eyes are on that main event. The $2,700 championship attracted 565 entries, generating a prize pool of over $1.3 million, which means our champion is going home with over $240,000. Some notables in the field taking a stab at that championship include Darren Elias, Esther Taylor, Anthony Zeno, and the infamous Nick Palma. You guys can keep up with all the action on our live stream feature table, which you can find at BetMGM YouTube channel. I'll have updates for you here as well, and interviews as well as poker news. So you guys don't go too far. Keep up with all the action. I'm Drea Renee, and we'll see you soon.
Hello and welcome back to the Borgata Casino Hotel and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We're here to pick up coverage of the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Open Championships Day 2 feature table coverage. We're here in the booth with an eight-person table. We are just shy of the money bubble. We're 10 people away from the money bubble here on Day 2 of this $2,700 event. we're going to get right into the action here, and we'll be introducing the table a little bit as we go. Again, we are just shy of the money bubble here, so no money has been secured yet, but when we get down to 72 players left, we will be in the money. I am Matt McNeil, Whitesmith the Blacksmith, joined in the booth by Nick Amakuchi and Rishi Maeda. Welcome, guys.
What is up?
Always great to be here. Thanks, Whitesmith, for having us.
So we have an early position raise from Bin Wang, a very, very familiar name and face in the local scenes, tournament scenes. Just, I guess, working his way back from some health issues. I think I saw an article around that for the series here. Great to have Bin back. Very nice, very friendly, outgoing, just fun player to have in the mix. We see him raising our first hand here with the King 3 of Hearts. Big blind defended by Eric Starker.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of chips, Rish, and I'm sure you could attest, we do not like seeing Bin with a lot of chips when you're at the table with him anyway.
Yeah, Bin Wang often has a lot of chips, which is always an interesting thing. And yeah, it's always great to see from this perspective in the booth, but against him, it can always be quite daunting.
It certainly can.
Bin Wang has just turned to 3 as well.
Applying a ton of pressure here. Absolutely. Eric with the pair of aces defending the big blind does call the flop bet. Turn brings Bin a pair of 3s here, as Rish mentioned.
See if he continues to barrel range or decides to check back now that he's turned some showdown value.
Again, we do have the money bubble factor. We're walking right into our feature table. Like I said, about 10 from the money bubble.
And he does choose to check back.
And
classic Bin Wang.
King on the river, runner, 2 pair for Bin. We see a check mark next to his name. I don't think he's checking this one back.
I don't think he's checking this one back either. Bin also our 2023 WPT and GPI Player of the Year, as he mentioned in his bio sheet.
Yeah, an absolute crusher, absolute sicko on the table, and as nice a guy as can be.
Absolutely.
Wanted to shout out his son Chris. So Chris, if you're tuned in, shout out to you from your pops.
I imagine he'll be met with a 1-chip flick from Eric.
Let's see what the sizing is here.
Looks like he's going fairly hefty, over 45K into a 49K pot.
41?
41K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like 41.
Which is still fairly hefty.
Yeah, and what you got to think about, too, we are approximately 9-10 players off the money here, and that's a third of Eric's stack, which, you know, we see some people have ICM implications. Some people don't care about, cashing. They're trying to go for the win, so it'll be an interesting dynamic to see what
Very nice fold from Eric. Very nice fold. I guess he imagines that Ben, well, first of all, this river hits Ben a lot as well and improves a lot of the hands he had, and also Ben would pot control some like ace-10s that still beat him on the turn. So.
Yep. And you see our current table here, again, Bin Wang and Michael Renna, 2 very, very deep stacks among the chip leaders in the entire room. And then, we'll get through, but we've got Jason Seller, I believe, and I believe it's Seller, I think we had on the sheet. Kevin Grable, a very well-known local player. PA. Tony Workman up from Georgia, Gregory Bauer, Eric Starker, and Nick Scholes. We have a little bit of detail. You see Nick, our short stack here, 6 big blinds. We're at 3,000 small blind, 6K big blind, and big blind ante here. And we're, again, just shy of the money bubble. In the top right corner, you see 82 remaining players out of the 565 that started the event. The money bubble is 72. We are in a separate streamed area. All the cards went live at the same time. But there is a very small chance, because we are separated, that number might be just a little bit off as we're getting the info coming over to us as knockouts occur throughout the room.
As Ben wakes up with the ace-king under the gun, man, he can be dangerous even without card selection, let alone with it.
Yeah, we were talking about that on Monday in the almighty finale, where people were begroaning the card distribution some of the players had, which it is a real thing. But somebody who is as accomplished as Ben, when you see him also picking up cards with a ton of chips, it's like, all right, like what's got to give here? He does show.
Even he's happy to flip it over.
When you've got to show sometimes, like when you're him with those.
I can pick up cards too.
Everybody okay? Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Have a water as well.
Trying to get paid by the end.
Oh shit! No dollars for tip.
Can I get a water?
Really nice.
Miss.
Because you can see the cards. There's no point for me to.
It's all good. I'm not that worried. I figured I was.
I riveted two pairs.
Where's the 14,000?
We see Jason Seller coming in with the under the gun raise with the 10-9 of hearts here. And Jason also very, very deep, nearly 100 big blinds himself. Said when we were in the lead up here, wanted to shout out family, friends, and then 2 poker mentors, Chad and Mike. Welcome, Jason. Hope we have a good time with you today. We see Tony Workman pick up the pair of jacks in the small blind, is just going to flat here. A little bit of pot control as well. Again, with the bubble dynamics against the early position raise. We'll go to a flop heads up here.
That's a sick window card.
Wow. Bottom set for Tony in the small blind. An open-end straight draw for Jason here, needing a king or an 8 to make a straight. Again,
Backdoor hearts as well.
Set of jacks for Tony. We're going to see a c-bet from Jason of 15,000, met by a quick call from Tony Workman, up from Georgia. 9 of diamonds on the turn, brings in a pair for Jason with that same open end. Still the set for Tony. Very quickly checks through. Queen on the river is going to bring the boat for Tony.
Now looks like he's going to find a lead. Very small bet.
See,
nice
20K into 70 and a quick fold from Jason. And Tony, one of the more interesting stories, we got a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. He is a minister from Georgia. He informed us very unfortunately tragic news that his mother recently passed. And one of the things that she had always wanted to do was visit New York with him. So he was planning a trip up to New York City and just stumbled across that we were running the championship here at the Borgata right now and decided that he was going to play the tournament. He plays a lot down in the Jacksonville, Florida area, and just was planning on making the trip to kind of get away a little bit and honor his mother and remember his mother, and ended up here and is now on a feature table here with a chance to make a nice run here for
Flopping
Tony.
some sets close to the money, and I'm sure he feels her presence with him as he carries himself through this day and through this series.
And a very, very outgoing, engaging person just from the 2 minutes having talked to him. And what was 2 minutes turned into 10. And for those that know me, we would expect it to be me talking, and it was mostly him. So welcome, Tony. Hope you have a good run today. And certainly our condolences. And I said then, and I'll say it here, I'm openly rooting for Tony to win the whole thing.
Yeah,
now.
he's got some extra run good in his corner.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I don't know if you saw that, Whitey, while we were telling the story, but we've now introduced some time chips into the equation. So for those that are on the custom or have family or friends that are watching, you're going to have a predetermined set of time for each action. And if you want some additional time, you could flick in those time chips to get an extra 30 seconds. So it keeps the pace of play going, especially as we get towards the bubble here. Not a lot of stalling that's going to be going on. Everybody's going to be on point and ready to act.
I think you bring up an important point there in the middle with regarding stalling. The reason a lot of these come into play when we're this close to the money, I imagine, is to prevent players from tanking down for these 9-person eliminations. Right, a full table may be okay with one player waiting 14 minutes for a hand to conclude, hoping that 3 or 4 people have been eliminated in that time, so that collectively they can all work towards the money together and then worry about battling each other. So these time chips are definitely preventative of that. Even if you don't see a player, just throw in their time chip once their time is expired. As long as they have more behind, it will automatically be deducted and then be thrown in at the end of the hand.
That's a great point, Rich.
And you'll see Harrison, our dealer, he is going to be in charge of the time clock there. Got a chance to chat with him a little bit as well. He wanted just to shout out. We're going to have 2 dealers with us throughout the day today, Harrison and Chris. They both said shout out to each other. So Harrison said shout out Chris. Chris said shout out Harrison.
Baby Keem, Christopher Keem, the man.
Yeah, Harrison based out of Vegas. And has been on some stream tables here before, so this won't be new for him with the being under the lights and also with the shot clock and the time chips and everything.
I just personally witnessed a new player enter our 9 seed, and that's Nick Barone, who is a Philly regular, who everyone confuses for me. And everyone walks up to and says, "Hey, Rish, if you noticed him, you'll see if he turns around and you get a camera shot, you know me, you will see quite the similarity." That is not me. I am not deep in this main event.
You are in the booth, not on the table.
I am in the booth, yes. I said one day we should play a tag team and see if they notice that we swapped it. Just convince everyone that we're the same person.
I want to see now. Like I need to see like a front shot or when he gets a.
We need to cut to Nicky B. Nicky B.
A couple guys in the chat. Paul Lilly, what's up? I am
Paul
offensive.
Lilly.
How you doing? Heather Byram was rooting for Tony, aka Big Tank.
Big Tank.
That's a cool nickname.
There's 80 players left.
Yeah, and so with the elimination on one of the other tables, that brings us down to 81, which is where we picked up the consolidation for the extra 9th person. So we have one more table to clear out until we're in the money. Again, 72 will make the money. And the min cash for today is going to be $6,445, and we're playing for up to a first place prize of about $242,000.
Sounds pretty nice.
$2,700 buy-in, 565 entrants. Prize pool just shy of $1.4 million here at the Borgata Atlantic City during the Summer Poker Open.
Which smashed the guarantee, I believe, right? What was the
1.4 million? It was $1 million guarantee, so nearly 1.5. Nearly 1.5 times.
There we go. East Coast Poker, strong as ever.
Alive and well here at the Borgata.
While they're getting everything in place, again, a very quick set of introductions again for the table. We have Eric Starker from New Jersey in our seat 1. We have Tony Workman from Georgia, as we mentioned, in seat 2. Ben Wang, as we've already seen in action in seat 3. Jason Seller in seat 4 from Pennsylvania. Greg Bauer from Brooklyn in seat 5. Michael Renna, who we've seen a few times on stream here, as well as winning an event here on stream in January from New Jersey in seat 6. Nick Scholes in seat 7, our short stack as we see. Kevin Grable, seat 8. And as mentioned, Nick Barone, our newest member of the table, seat 9, rounding out our contestants for our feature table coverage right now. We'll be here for 2 full levels, 1-hour levels, and then the players will be going on a dinner break. So we'll be here for 2 hours, take a break, and then come back the rest of the evening.
That was the point. He doesn't want people.
I can't believe how fast 20 seconds goes.
Without after you can. I mean.
Yeah, Mike Rennar,
That was pretty fast.
our Winter Open Almighty champion.
Yep.
Now making an appearance here.
Well, that was quick. That was like 1 second. Up. Didn't have much to think
I don't have much
about.
of a thought process.
Ben
I don't
finding
even-
the limb.
I have like 3 things I think of. 15.
Jason going to raise out of the big blind with the King 10 offsuit.
I get it 30 seconds.
Showing no fear.
30 seconds. Now I already called. Once best come back to me is 30 seconds. That doesn't matter. 10 more seconds on
It's not going to take Ben very long, but they're getting through. There's different buttons on the shot clock and just sorting the time frame. So the first action of the hand will have 20 seconds. After any raises, it'll jump up to 30 seconds per
And
action.
post flop, it will be 30 seconds as well.
I believe that's how it's run. Ace, Jack, 5. Pair of 5s for Ben, a gut shot for Jason.
Very fast bet from Jason.
Looks like 15 into 36, a little under half pot.
Yeah, I want to see some of the spots where, we see Ben be creative. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of them. He can apply a lot of pressure here.
At least not on this street. I don't
Right.
think we'll start yet. I think we'll get some evaluation on this turn.
Just a call. We are going to see the turn. 8 of diamonds, no change here. Still the pair of 5s for Ben. The king high with the gut shot for Jason.
Most definitely a relative brick. Snap check back on the turn. I think Ben is now going to think he probably has the best hand, but again, just be met with a check. I don't think Ben's ever betting here. Unless he's trying to get a jack to fold or 7s. That he believes Jason's holding hands like 7s, 9s, middling pairs.
Sure.
Snap check back on the turn. I wonder if Ben gleans any information from there. By the way, I am offensive asked in the chat. I assume all of the tables are using the shot clock now, nearing the bubble. Yes, that would be correct.
Yep.
He does check, and he is going to get to show down his 5 for the winner.
Yeah, Ben sees that the queen would have been disastrous for him.
Yep.
Not there.
No.
You might be winning.
I was going to say something, but I'm like,
There we go. There we are. Chip's going in the right direction.
Depends on who you ask. I don't think anyone at the table thinks that Chip's going to Ben or Chip's
Sorry,
going
they were
in the right
initially being
direction.
pushed into the losing hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Said yes, true.
it was the one
Yeah.
person table it.
Yeah.
If I just muck, then
And it takes a dealer to get back into the swing of things too with the shot clock.
Most definitely. Harrison's the man as well. Fantastic dealer, fantastic person. True of Chris Keem as well. Both of our dealers, awesome people, always with a smile, always doing great work.
Where are you from, Ben? Where you?
oh, I'm original from China, but I live. I
China?
currently live Pennsylvania right now.
Okay.
6 breaks.
Okay.
13,000.
Working in Vegas a lot.
Playing poker, I assume.
Yeah, it's easier to play poker than poker tournament.
Yeah.
I tournament a lot
Yeah.
sometimes.
We see the under the gun raise from Michael Renna with a 9-2 of clubs.
I like it.
Now he's starting to apply that ICM pressure. Him and I were. Hey, there's me.
There he is.
I can see the resemblance. I think it's in the beard.
Yeah, he probably gets through the airport a bit easier. But yeah, Mike Renna was our roommate at an Airbnb in Las Vegas for when we were out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
nice.
we were talking. He's a brilliant mind, and we were talking a bit of strategy and things like that. And he talked a lot about the amount of pressure you can apply in situations like this when you have this many chips and your table is savvy to ICM considerations. And I think this is a perfect example where he's just opening, hasn't played a hand at this table yet.
Yep.
Opening up and getting a lot of respect.
I think that's the thing though, right? Like, so everybody knows that you could apply pressure, but you have to know whether that person actually cares about caching or any sort of ICM implications. If you don't know that and you start spewing and it's just like, all right, well, I just gave away half my stock for no reason.
Sure.
Like to somebody who doesn't really care about ICM.
Interesting spot here as our next hand comes out. Nick Scholl, our short stack, in under the gun on 6 big blinds. Going to be putting a third of his chips in the next hand. Needs to pick up a hand soon.
This is not going to be the hand.
Let's get it going.
He's not going to go with this hand.
And he's not happy. Like, he knew it was going to be this hand or he was going to have to take the big blind, and he was like, I hope I get some sort of, like, just resemblance of a
High
hand.
card pair,
Yeah.
high card, low card suited combo, but double low card suited combo under the gun. I think he's presuming he'll find a better hand, or a somewhat better hand in the next shuffle, hopefully.
Action's going to fold over to Eric Starker in our first seat here with the King 10 offsuit.
If anything, Nick, our short stack, might try to squeak into the money as well, and even be folding in the next shuffle in the small blind after that. And
We're close enough. It can happen pretty quickly.
expending most of his time banks, perhaps, and using that clock all the way down as much as possible, and that can be a strategy for players as well. Using that time bank all the way down to the last second, and then expending chips strategically as well, time chips.
We see Tony just flat the ace-queen in position here. A little bit interesting considering he has the ability to apply pressure to the original raiser in Eric. We get a flat from Jason on the button with a 9-8 offsuit, and also Michael Renna out of the big blind with a pair of 2s. So we are going to see a flop 4 ways here. Jack 6-6 hits nobody, doesn't help anybody really here. Michael Renna actually in the lead with the pair of twos. You see the percentage is fairly even because there's no improvement in anything that's coming still here would put someone in the lead if they were to hit any of their whole cards.
As we all check through to a turn.
The 9 of diamonds does give that pair to Jason on our button. You can see now he's jumped up to 63% chance to win the hand here. This does kind of feel like taking a stab for just about anybody could do this, though.
Eric now takes most of the remaining equity with his gutter and over, and actually 2 overs compared to the current best hand. Eric does stab with his gutter and his.
We see 16,000 from Eric and a quick call from Jason and a quick fold from our other two here. So we'll go heads up to the river.
I wonder if Eric bluffs this river on a brick.
8 of diamonds on the river brings in a potential flush, a few different straight possibilities. You see the 2 pair 9s and 8s for Jason does have the check mark should this get to showdown.
The interesting thing about Jason's hand is he loses to a jack. That 8 improves him relative to another 9, but to any other, well, he does immediately
very,
call.
very quick call, and he is gonna scoop up a pot. And Eric down to 70,000 or so here, in a bit of danger here as well himself, as we're 8 away from this money bubble. You see Nick Scholes into the big blind, paying that 6,000 big blind and 6,000 big blind ante is going to be a third of his stack. He's only going to have 24,000 behind, 4 big blinds behind after posting the blind and ante here. He's going to need to pick up a hand soon to try and find a double.
Mike Satara in chat also echoed it's important to know if your opponent hates money. Shout out to Mike.
Well said.
I think he's a, 18-time circuit ring winner? Something to that effect. Might be under there, Mike, so apologies if I have the incorrect number.
Is he Satara on BetMGM? There is a player named Satara, and someone was like, is that Mike Satara?
I'm sure he can confirm if he's still in the chat.
Mike Satara, kind of confirm in the chat if you're Satara.
You know, it was funny, like that last hand, like poker is such a weird dynamic. Any little thing or micro decision could change that hand. If we saw a 3-bet out of Tony, he could potentially have just won that pre-flop. Right. Instead of
100%,
somebody losing some chips there.
Nick finds the open off about 30 bigs with Ace Jack O, and Tony now picking up the Queen.
And that looks like some raising chips there.
It does. It does appear that in these situations, in these configurations, especially close to these money bubbles, that players will take a lot more passive approaches. I don't know if they're correct or not, but especially like with a hand like Ace Queen, where someone savvy like Mike Renna might put in the cold 4-bet behind him with all those chips as well.
We see
start applying that pressure.
Michael just going to lay down the suited Ace Jack in the small blind. And a decision here for Nick, all in the call. Again, 4 big blinds behind. The Jack 9
pass, man.
with the 3-bet into the 2 larger stacks. That shows a significant sign of strength here for Tony.
Which is what Mike Renna got to consider with his Ace Jack of diamonds and fold comfortably. We just saw Tony not 3-bet the Ace Queen O, but now that he's 3-betting, Mike can be privy to the fact that it's probably pretty strong.
Yep. And probably not good enough for Nick. Some people might get a little impatient here with the Jack 9. It's connected enough. We've seen a couple Jacks go into the muck, so it would be a really, really unfortunate spot if this is the time that he would choose to put in.
Against Nick,
But what we're going to see here is exactly why we have the shot clock. He's well within his right, and it's frankly going to be very expected at this point of the tournament for some of these stacks to use as much of that clock as they can.
Absolutely.
But there is absolutely a limit. Once they use these time chips, they don't get any more for the day. So you have to be very...
For the day, so there is no refreshment for the day.
I believe there's no more for the day. We can get that confirmed on the dinner break, but I believe in the past they have not gotten more for the day. They will get a new set tomorrow.
It's a very important consideration as well is how you ration off your time chips.
You might end up in a big spot later, and if you use them now trying to get into the money, you might not have the time that you might want for a large decision later in the tournament.
I just made a very disciplined laydown. I'm proud of myself.
Your doppelganger, yeah. Your twin.
Let's get a look at our payouts.
At $242K up top.
These are just our top 10 payouts here. So this is not something that we're going to come anywhere near today. We'll continue with feature table coverage tomorrow, and then a final table of what is likely going to be our final 6 on Friday. But that'll be dependent a little bit on time and play. We'll be here for about another hour and 40 minutes before a dinner break, and then we'll be back after that dinner break for, I believe, 2 more 2-hour stretches. So there'll be 4 levels after dinner break, 2 hours, 2 1-hour levels, a break, 2 more hour levels to bring us to the end of the day today.
12,000.
We get a raise from Bin Wang here with the Jack-7 of spades.
And he still does have some sizable stacks beside him, or next act after him. Sure. Especially Mike Renna, who has a bunch of chips. But you really just gotta wonder how much do these guys want to buck heads with Ben?
Renna's a fearless individual. And it appears he's thinking about applying some of that fearlessness now. He's finding the 3-bet from the button, knowing Ben's opening competently, and knowing he hasn't 3-bet anyone's open yet. So Ben's effectively was gonna play. I guess his plan was to open until he was met with resistance, and with hands like this, marginal hands, Jack-7 suited, which I think is fairly standard given ICM and how many chips he has. But Renna now choosing to start springing some of that opportunity.
We see Nick Scholes with a Jack-9 again going into the muck, down about 3.5 big blinds for Nick here, and gets a bunch of hands to pick and choose his spot now. As he gets through his blinds.
Fold from Ben, just going to respect the 3-bet. Renna taking it down. Nice hand, buddy.
And the food's great.
So what's your favorite place to eat?
It used to be Izakaya, but now it's Old Homestead or Cafe 225, which is on the street.
While we were in the build-up here, wanted to get a few of the shout-outs here, and not a negative, not that we're rooting against Nick Scholes by any stretch, but given the stack size, want to make sure we get a shout-out to the family, the daughters that he mentioned beforehand, to make sure that they get the mention and the love on the stream. So he has a 5-month-old Everly and a 16-year-old Ava that he wanted to send some love to and a shout out. So to Nick Scholes' 2 daughters, congratulations on what's hopefully going to be a fun day for your father, and hopefully a chance for him to spin up and get into the money here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're rooting for him. Excited to see him on stream playing, a game that he.
I don't know if the 5-month-old is going to know what's going on with that one just yet, but hopefully the teenager and any other family and friends tuning in for him as well.
Like, why is she 3-betting so small?
You never know. Kids are so advanced these days.
It might be. 5-month-old's already in the lab. 5-month-old saw the ace-queen-O flat. He's like, yeah, it's a pure call.
We see a limp from early position from Tony Workman here. A limp in our hijack as well from Gregory with the King-10. Little change in strategy here. We haven't seen any limping now, and not something that we'll always see too often, but at this point of a tournament, I think it's something that we'll see a little bit more of again as we are approaching this money bubble. Action gonna fold over to Rish Yu in the big blind here.
We'll pass.
Oh, excuse me. We did get a raise from Gregory. I apologize.
Yeah.
2 chips. I was thinking we were going with the limp. It is the raise to 30,000.
Probably preferable.
Oh,
is it open?
man.
Yeah, it was a limp and then a raise.
Limp
and a raise. Yep. So from Greg Bauer from Brooklyn.
I'm gonna give you some respect. And
Also
poetry.
wanted to shout out his daughters, Brianna and Melissa. Seems like
Squeeze over the limp gets through.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Seems like we've got a lot of fathers with daughters at the table here.
Do you want to change that?
You wanted me to show it? Let's go around
As we get
everybody
closer
showing
to
their
the
cards.
money,
Get this game
all
out
you
of the
kids
muck.
decide what you want to start asking for.
Evidence, man.
Exactly. Christmas is right around the corner.
The deeper the run,
Yep. The better the Christmas
the
presents.
more you get to update that cart.
looks like we're down to 78 up at the top there. I think we said 72 cash, right?
72 cash. Yeah, we can see the time, the tournament time clock, and the actual tournament board in one of the wide out shots when we're looking out at the table. So we have not the graphic update in the top right corner, but we have lost 2 players throughout the room. So inching that little bit closer here for a stack like Nick Scholes, seeing those numbers drop is only gonna feel good and give him that little bit of extra hope of trying to sneak into the money here.
Hope is a dangerous thing sometimes, and I'm sure Nick wants to pick up a hand and get his money in, but it's also smart to just hey, let's try to sneak into the money a little bit and catch an extra buy-in.
It becomes kind of a math problem now, right? Is it the rate of how many people are dropping? Do we have enough chips to survive X amount of orbits to get to that point? So will 8 people die by the time, or lose rather, by the time we get to our next orbit? Because by the time Nick is in the big blind and small blinds again, he will have 1 big blind left after the button reaches.
If he plays no hands and folds through his blinds, we'll be down to 1 big blind, 6,000, which would get him another full orbit to get through, and get us potentially close to hand for hand or to that bubble.
Absolutely.
We do get a raise here from Jason with the ace-9. A flat on the button from Kevin Grable on the button with a pair of 5s. We're going to go heads up to a flop here.
It's a fine flat from Grable as well.
King 9-4, pair of 9s for Jason, still just the 5 for Kevin. Gonna need a 5 and a 5 only if he wants to have the best hand in this pot.
Imagine we'll see a small c-bet from Jason.
We see some chips. Looked like 13,000.
Exactly 1/3.
Third pot.
Knowing what I know about Kevin Grable, he'll peel 1, but I was going to say I don't imagine him peeling 1. But it's Kevin Grable, so capable of anything.
Kevin, another shouting out 2 daughters of his own. His wife,
Begrudgingly folding.
His wife Jillian, as well as his 2-year-old Mila and 4-year-old Gianna. So hello to the Grable family as well. We've had Kevin on streams here. I believe some of these featured table streams as well, and I'm not sure if we've had him on any of the final tables here, but definitely a familiar face at final tables in the area.
An absolute crusher. This is we were mentioning it with just bin generally before, but again, from our point perspective, this is a fun table to witness in terms of really good poker. But sitting there, this is a pretty tough table draw.
Yeah, you have to think just about anybody at that table is going, sheesh. How did we get this draw right now? We still have 9 tables left in the tournament, and I'm stuck with crusher,
and Bin Wang getting cards,
and Bin Wang with ace queen here, gonna raise it up. Pair of 10s for Gregory mid position.
Okay, Greg,
yeah,
let's see
this
what
close
we
to
got
the money, a flat is fine facing it under the gun open, as far as I know. But perhaps Bin Wang's image plays influence here and we find a 3-bet.
That looks like a call.
It is.
So cold in here.
Mike Renna thinking about abusing this open and call. Let's see how much respect he puts on that under the gun open, though.
No, I wish. No.
Not much.
I don't.
See what the number is. It looks like a
40.
raise.
You know what I'm saying?
45.
45,000 3-bet from Michael Renna.
Talking up, bet it
Another
again.
situation where Nick is just going to, unfortunately and begrudgingly have to pass. And he does. Use that time bank, bro. Let it run all the way down. That time is more than yours to use.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, this is the exact same size that Renna had used in the hand previously. I'm really interested to see how Bin wants to navigate this one with the ace queen
Renna made
now.
45 last time as well.
Yeah.
And this time there's a dead flat in the middle. We now see it's not actually a dead flat. Gregory does have a hand that he's just pot controlling with. I wonder how the response will be here.
I mean, what is this, the second time in 4 or 5 hands from Renna? So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, let's see how Ben.
And now Ben has a
wants to-
hand too, so we'll see if
Yeah.
Ben's tolerant to yet another.
33,000 to go for Ben here. We'll see what the action, what type of action he chooses.
Rena's mindset is also if Ben's opening competently, which Ben Wang, of course, is with all the chips he has, Gregory's flat can be properly abused. He's more targeting. As long as he gets through Ben, he figures that Gregory's money is dead in a spot like this, and Gregory's going to have to fold a lot of his range. Gregory does actually have a very strong hand here, as does Ben, and Ben is going to come in for this 4-bet. Gregory's going to get out of the way now.
That looks like close to 100.
As Gregory says, I knew that was coming.
122. I missed one of the one of those pink 25K chips.
This is a 22 big blind, a little more than 22 big blind. No, it's exactly a 22 big blind 4-bet.
Right in the middle of this stuff. Unbelievable.
This is what the sandwich looks like, Greg. This is what it feels like to be in the Rena Wang sandwich.
5 seconds. I know what he's doing. I don't know what you're doing.
Kind of borderline inappropriate,
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
multi-way here, like, you know, talking about
122?
hand and, you know, when you get into etiquette, that's something that
We
you
love the New Yorker speeches, too.
Oh, yeah.
New Yorkers love it. He's being so genuine, too. I know what he's doing. I don't know what you're doing, he says to Rena.
I gotta forget they're watching us on the stream. Fuck it.
Yes, you do. Now that you can, now that, I don't know if you want to reveal your soliloquies out loud, but that is, there he goes. He
What
does
do I-
pass. As we see him expend 2 of those time chips he just used, Rena's going to comfortably fold now.
Jesus Christ. You almost got jumped there, Ben Wynn.
Nice little pot goes the way of Ben Wang as we see him up over 900,000 chips here, pushing towards that 1 million chip mark.
Nice hand.
Hey, it
And
does take
again,
that
we'll
down.
be one of the chip leaders in the table, if not the tournament chip leader now. I'm not sure. You know, we won't have updated stacks throughout the room, but it was both Ben and Michael were right near the top as we were coming off the last break.
I believe Rena came in as the chip leader for the tournament when we started this table, started this feature table. And I believe they're both sitting, pretty close to the top. As Jason Sellers now climbed his way above 100 bigs as well.
Yeah,
So a lot
for
of chips having a main.
just under 30 minutes left in this level at the 6K big blind.
Yeah, it looks like we did lose one, so down to 77 from the
77?
from the clock on the in the room there.
Yep, when we get the zoom out, we'll be able to
Update
get
our
some of
graphic as
to get
well.
some of those updates as we go.
What a sweat for Nick.
What a sweat. 77, we're 5 off.
Yeah, and we're dropping relatively quickly.
That was something that you talked about too. How quickly players are busting. That really determines like how quickly they got to go with
The rate of decay.
rate of decay. Trademarked.
Nick hasn't been burning the time chips, so he's been basically using his full shot clock during his decisions of folding, but hasn't been burning the time chips. I wonder as we get a little bit closer if that's going to change.
Hand for hand, we no longer have the clock in application, right? We'll take time off the clock, or will it be?
Gets chips.
I believe what we've been doing here has been a set amount of time per hand.
Per hand, right. Okay, so
I
in that
believe
case,
it was like 2 minutes per
it'll
hand.
be incumbent upon Nick to know prior to entering hand for hand, that's when he should be using all of his time chips and using
If
his
needed,
sweep of the money.
if people keep dropping, he might not need to. Might just be able to continue on as he has.
Might just
been.
bypass hand for hand altogether and be straight into the money as well. A couple of double eliminations. Can very easily do that.
We get a limped pot folded around to our blind, so blind versus blind. We have
Look, Ben Wang has the best hand.
Ben and Tony go to a flop. I believe we saw a queen and a 6 on the flop, so a pair of 6s for Tony, a pair of queens for Ben.
I just love the scowl that Ben has. Like I personally haven't played with him on any table. I mean, he plays way higher binds than I do typically. Rish, I don't know if you have played. It's just like seems like an intimidating presence.
There is an aura.
He does have an aura. He's super quiet, and then he'll just randomly crack a joke. We were deep in day 1 of a tournament here a couple of series ago, and we're near the bubble, and just went open, flat. I flatted with 4s, and Ben just knowing he can apply pressure, all in, right on the money bubble. Tank for about 3 minutes and fold, and Ben just goes, I didn't look at my hand. He just flips over 6-3-0 and holds it like this in his hand, as if he's reading a book. It's very, very painful. He's the man, though, and he's quite funny once you talk to him. But he can be quite intimidating.
We get a 16,000 chip bet from Ben here with the top pair. Third pair with the 7 on the turn goes into the muck for Tony. And
Good hand.
very disciplined fold from Tony as well.
Yep.
That's the thing about an image like Bin Wang. We talk about him right now and talk about him being able to get cards and have good card selection. A lot of people can level themselves out against him thinking, oh, he's being spewy or wild or abusing his image or abusing his chips. But he can also just have cards and it can make him very dangerous. It can put you in a very dangerous spot where if you want to hero him light, this could be the time where you're wrong.
with someone as aggressive as he can play, and it's not always, but as aggressive as he can play, I can only imagine how many times people have blasted into him, and he's just sitting there as strong as can be going, thank you, come again.
Internal laugh.
Yep.
Thank you for your chips.
And then other times hitting you with the, I didn't even look at my cards.
Yeah.
Hit me with the natural 9 too. What a cooler. I had 4-4.
Are we telling bad beat stories here on the stream
bad
now?
beat stories, I guess. I had natural 8. I had 4-4. He had 6-3. As Rena opens the ace 8. Did Bin act in this hand already? No, he's in the small blind. I was gonna say, Rena and Bin being our top 2 chip stacks in this table, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so every time Bin, which is not going to be that much opportunity considering the seeding they're in, but every time Bin passes, Rena is now going to be the de facto chip leader for the table and get to use as much opportunity as he can to apply pressure to these.
And it will be
stacks.
after our other large stack of Jason as well.
Has also passed, yes, correct.
Yep. So Rena
In this
having
case, Rena's
position on.
opening to them both in the blinds, but he's comfortable being able to do that because they're both playing out of position to him.
And they're also very, very deep.
Yes,
it would take
correct.
With where we're at in the tournament, it will. I don't want to say be impossible, but it would take either someone deciding to get very spicy or a handful of big hands, a couple big hands between our players to get
Most
a
definitely.
huge pot.
With
between
players
them.
this competent too, they know they shouldn't be putting this many big blinds in the middle at this stage in the tournament as well, that they're making more money by playing.
Action going to fold to Jason in the big blind with a queen jack of clubs is going to
Pure
make the
defend.
call.
Very
We're
nice.
gonna get to a flop here, heads up.
Jack in the window.
Jack 6-6, top pair for Jason. Actually, 2 pair with the pair on board. Ace high for Michael. Action checked over to Michael Rena.
We're just going to see about this board. Jason
like
will have a lot of
9,000?
auto folds. This is not one of them. Jason acting very quick. He's going in for a raise.
So do you like Pennsylvania?
It's going to be a
man?
very quick fold for
Say you lived
Mike.
in Pennsylvania,
I don't
you
see
like
any
it?
peels coming here.
Is it near Philly? Near Philadelphia?
Yeah, very quick fold.
Like it.
Shot him a
Yeah.
quick glance before making the fold, but respecting the
all the
raise
way
here
in.
from Jason
Go
as Jason
Georgia.
continues to accumulate a few
Make it
chips
out
here at our
Yeah,
feature table.
riding this
Up to
out.
almost 650,000 now.
As we do get a look at our screen,
We have 76
Six.
left, so we're now
Nick has a
4.
sweat.
Now 4 away from the money, 20 minutes left in the level, which based off the timing we're at, he will most certainly get through this round of blinds without having to be forced all in.
I think he has to fold
No,
a lot
no,
of hands to get into
I,
this money. I think this is
We just dropped another, while we've been zoomed
Honestly,
out, we are down to 75, so
Honestly,
3
I
away
didn't
from the
even
money here.
realize that there was a
Yeah, this
tournament
sweat for
series
Nick Scholes is very fun, and oh
no. Rena's going to find the open here.
yeah, which is going to let him get away from the threes,
I
but
think Nick just folds. That is the face of the man. Yeah, I know, man. I know, man. Look, Kevin, just ask Grable. He has one of your threes.
And he could go another
mom just
orbit
passed
with
away.
still having like
survive
a
it.
5K chip
He'll
behind.
survive it.
Yeah.
He can get into the money.
My best
we'll
friend in
see.
the world
Not a guarantee to get into the
But he-
money, but has the definite the ability to get through a bunch more hands.
And
Use that time up, man.
Very
This is the time where you
so
might want to start using some of those time banks as well. We're getting close.
it's been a rough.
It's such an
rough road,
unenvious
but,
position. You're just sitting there. Every hand that goes by where you don't have a hand, you're
I,
dying a little bit
just did my
inside.
best-
This
best
is
I
so
can
much
to hold
easier
on.
when you don't have a decision though.
100% as opposed to having a decision.
When you get a low pair like this, it is a hand that we're gonna see go into the muck a lot of the time.
But I have the help of
And
my
as we
Very
do
wise.
as we do here.
And expending a time chip, and it's a proper rationing of the time chip. He's saving some of them.
But
Very
off
good.
of, what is it, 3.5 big blinds for him, I believe. You know, putting in or getting any pocket pair is just gonna feel like it needs to go in a lot of cases.
I think if it was cold to him under the gun one, he might have been more likely to pile than facing the direct under the gun open from Rena, where he knows that any hand, he obviously has no fold equity,
Right.
and two, he's always flipping at best.
Well-
With his pair specifically. Unless
Well, we
Rena's
saw Rena open 9 deuce under the gun.
True, so I guess he is capable of having the deuce too as well. Okay, almost always.
Almost
flipping
always.
at
Yes,
best.
in his mind, flipping at best, of course.
Most definitely.
Action going to fold to Gregory in our big blind, who's going to call the queen 9 of diamonds and see a flop here, it looks like. So heads up to our flop. We just saw people pointing up at the clock behind, so I'm wondering if we lost somebody else
Other
even.
one? Let's see.
Yeah, Nick is probably like, you guys take as much time as you need. Just
Yeah.
take
Ace-
a long time on your decisions.
Nick's looking to like spill a drink on the table, so they gotta clean it up real
Oh,
quick,
no.
and that's
We're
what
not gonna get any
knock
kind of
the
that
shoulder
shenanigans.
over the water.
None of-
But hey, do you guys want to
none of
get her
those
around? Oops, my
shenanigans.
bad. I'm sorry.
Ace
you
eight-
can
ace
laugh
eight.
without muting, Nick.
Ace 8-4 here on the flop. We're gonna get a c-bet and a quick fold from Michael. Another pot goes the way of Michael Rena. We have some high from Ottawa, Canada. We have people from across North America tuned in. Where are people coming in from? I know we got people here from the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. If we have people down from Georgia, let us know in the chat where you are checking this stream out from.
Mini horse.
Mini horse. The mini horse.
That's what I had a flashback to. I'm
I
not
knew
gonna lie.
when you were laughing, I figured that's what it was. Good times. We always have a good time here.
Nick,
Here we go.
Yeah.
No, they're just-
Under the gun, Jack 8 of diamonds. If we
I'm rooting for
are
him.
in the money, this is going to go in.
Oh, 100%.
Did we get a zoom out again to be
We
able
were
to
still
look
at
that?
75. We're
yeah.
still at 75.
He does
Nick
fold
with his
it.
pass. As I pick up
Nick-
the snowman,
Nick B with 8-8 here.
what am I gonna do?
Kind of an awkward spot on about 25 bigs. We are going to get an open, but it's still not a hand that's going to be very comfortable opening into all of the big stacks. Bin in position, Jason on the button, and Michael Rena in the big blind.
All of whom are privy to the configuration right now and can apply a lot of pressure to that open. I
Yep.
think it's still a mandatory open. The hand's pretty strong. We'll see if there's any punishment for opening it.
Action folds over to Gregory in the small blind. Looks like he's going to step aside with a suited king 9.
Rena can put in Nick right now with this hand.
Ace 7 suited for Rena in the big blind. He's doing some math, and if he gets the math accurate quickly enough here, he'll see that Nick has
He does put him in. He
about
knows he can
25 bigs.
Dealers also
Yep.
with,
About 25 bigs exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
Rena knows exactly what he's doing.
Down to 70.
Yeah, it's tough, Nick. But this is the expectation with this ICM pressure.
And this is what's uncomfortable about opening 8s into those big stacks, especially people that will be as aggressive as both Michael and Ben.
Absolutely.
What would Reach do here?
Find out. Well, wait. Nick and I may differ, actually, in this situation.
You saw the head shake from him there.
Could also read some lips. And
It's like one of those, yeah, you know that I know that you know situation, but I can't. It's just like so painful.
Wonder how much history they have playing together, because that is certainly something that can factor into
well,
this.
definitely. Like I said, Renan and I stayed in the Airbnb together. We talk all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He is gonna let the 8s go. Rena's showing the ace. It looks like.
Good thing he didn't turn over to 3. That would
that
have
must feel good.
I mean, ace-7 and ace-3 are effectively the same there against the eights. Brenna has his 30%. He actually has more.
Let me see our updated chip counts here. Bin Wang on top of our table here at the 2026 feature table on day 2 of the Summer Poker Open Championship with 942,000 chips, just shy of 160 big blinds.
It's a lot of big blinds.
It's a lot of chips.
Yeah, looks like in the chat we got people from Idaho, Harlem, Georgia, Marblehead, Long Island, South Florida, Austin, Texas, Dover, Delaware, Ohio. All over the place.
Jason, Sung Woo Yu, what would Rishi do? WWRD.
Love having everybody check in from across the
thank you for
the
joining
country.
us.
Appreciate you guys joining us here on the BetMGM YouTube channel.
Yeah, spread the word. You know, if you know anybody playing, or if you think anybody would enjoy, if you're playing tonight, you know, on your own, pop it on. We'll be here all night.
We will be back throughout the week. We'll continue feature table coverage tomorrow, a final table coverage of this same event on Friday, as we play towards a winner and a potential first place payout of, I believe it was just over $242,000. Before that, though, we need to get into the money. We've got a couple more people to lose in the room before we do burst that money bubble. So, action's going to fold over to Gregory on the button with an ace-deuce. Gregory on 50 big blinds, a little bit deeper than Nick there, and certainly able to have pressure applied, but not one of these we're going to see quite as large of a rip we would expect from Michael here.
3-betting coming.
But picking up an ace in the small blind here, facing the button open.
No 3-betting coming. Brenna choosing to pass this time. Oh, easy decision for Nick.
You want to see mine?
Show him the deuce, Greg. That's not allowed. Don't show him any cards, Greg.
Yeah, not allowed to show.
Not allowed.
Yep.
Good
Renna nodding there, seeing the ace and having pitched an ace himself, but also
thinking
having
it was definitely the best decision.
feeling good about that. But if he would have seen, he would have known the 3-bet would have worked there.
Too sharp.
I think he's also noted that Gregory's been fairly, I guess, passive in terms of his opens. So for him to be opening on Renna's button, or in Renna's small blind, knowing how aggressive Renna's been,
to think about.
is a bit stronger.
So have you ever been on the lab?
So Renna decides to pass there.
Something like this here.
I think they get replenished every day.
Is it? Yeah.
You know, I think there were originals on the
so.
table
I should
from
have
the
just
start of the
shipped.
day. I think we're the only oh no, and
I clocked it 6 minutes ago on stream
Yeah.
when he did that.
We hear them discussing the use of the time chips.
Probably just look at my text messages, all my friends saying you're
Tony with the Jack-10 of diamonds here, and again, deep enough, over 60 big blinds that will start, or that I would expect we'll see an open.
That means they're really friends.
there, yeah.
Couple definitely playable hands here.
He is going to fold the Jack-10, and that's bubble right there. And look at this. It ends up probably working out quite well for him because we have Jason with ace-5 of diamonds in the hijack. We're going to get an open here, and Gregory with ace-queen of hearts.
Do we imagine Gregory will play another flat with Jason being covering?
We'll see.
80,000?
Nope. 80,000.
That is certainly not an all-in, but committing most of his stack. And
25% of it, yeah? Yeah, 25% of it.
a significant chunk for this 3-bet. That's a very large 3-bet to see here.
13.5 bigs.
The king 3 for Nick here. Gonna let it go down.
Rabel has ace-jack in the big blind, but I think he's going to be able to exploitatively fold this now.
With the sizing here,
why.
very much, very much.
He does. Might have been able to fold it anyway, but definitely as a result of the sizing.
Very, very quick and easy muck from Grable there.
Jason will find a comfortable pass as well after a moment of consideration.
Well, we don't know that, so let's not
time.
suggest the action
I
beforehand.
respect it.
Jason finds a comfortable fold here after a moment of consideration.
Thank you, Reese.
No problem, Floyd. Anything for you, Bob. I'm sitting at the table. You don't think I know what's going to happen right there?
We are down, you can see, down to 74 in the top right corner, or top left corner, depending on where you're looking. So we are 2 away from our money bubble.
Yeah, if I'm Nick, I'm burning all those time banks like right here on the button.
Right now.
You know, just you're furthest away from getting into the big blind where you're going to be forced all in.
This is it.
Just got through the blinds, down to 1 big blind, 6,000 in chips. 10 minutes left in the level. If we go through the level with Nick still, we'll be under 1 big blind.
There is no
This is a rough spot for Eric. Eric on under 10 big blinds picks up pocket 9s under the gun.
I'm not folding. I know we're on money bubble, but I'm not folding. I know you're supposed to probably fold this hand with ICM consideration.
1,000% shit.
Yeah, this is one of those you just want an easy decision, and this is this is very much going to be a person specific how they choose to play.
This is so strong.
I'll never argue if someone wants to put this in, but folding it also makes a lot of sense to me.
Well,
He does take the spot.
This is exactly why, if you're Nick, you're folding all of those fringe hands because this exact situation.
Yeah, this brings us one closer to the
Potentially,
bubble
potentially,
if it does
potentially.
This I'm not foreshadowing at all.
Right. We get a call with the ace-9 of diamonds, and now Jason with the ace-9 of diamonds going to make the call. Gregory with pocket 7s. We saw the reaction there, and very quickly and wisely pitches the 7s.
Look, get to see this right away.
Thanks. It was great playing with
Take
you.
your time, Nick.
Guy, you know.
Hey, it ain't over yet.
But this is exactly what you were saying. This is the spot that Nick wants to see. He wants the ability for somebody to get knocked out. Now,
He's going to be steaming if Eric, when he sees the hands turned over and if Eric doubles. I would have used my time picks in that spot, but he chooses not to.
Please have 9s.
Please have 9s, we hear.
Yep, you should flip them up. Don't take my heart.
Had a pair.
Let's see the cards, gentlemen. 30% working, 43% working for Jason.
I believe we have all of
Where you
the
gonna put the
aces
seven?
in the deck
Window
still.
or
I don't
the-
think we saw any aces.
Yeah, I don't
fold.
think so.
My
Nick's like, come on, we need an ace, we need
So
an
we have
ace.
Thanks, brother.
The turn type
Eric's
card.
like, no ace, no ace.
Eric Starker all in and at risk, but ahead
good about
with
this
the pair of 9s.
Yeah, we know who Nick's rooting for.
Eric shouting out his girlfriend Mandy. Want to make sure we get that in just in case this does not go his way. But it did mention a shout out to his girlfriend Mandy. We take our flop here.
We fade the window. We fade the door.
8-5-2, 2 clubs. Eric with the 9 of clubs as well, so some of those backdoor opportunities. 8 of spades on the turn.
Only Barry can save.
An ace and an ace alone would win the pot, and a deuce is not going to do that. A double up for Eric Starker.
Nice playing with you, man.
Can I buy your time chips?
That's a huge double.
Big double for Eric Starker. We hear some chatter at the table and chirping. A nice playing with you after the card comes to keep him in the tournament.
I mean, that's got to feel good for him. Like he essentially is going to be locked to cash unless something catastrophic
And
happens.
you see now up over 20 big blinds too, 120,000, 3 starting stacks. So now into a relatively healthy spot for him. You know, back up over 20 bigs before our blinds go up here is a really good, comfortable place to be.
Yeah, now that you won the pot. They should have. Ace spikes on the river.
That would have been funny, though. You guys would
Would you still have had fun? Would you still have had fun?
No, I mean out there, not in here.
Who won the last hand?
This would have not been fun.
As Ben opens the 5-3 of hearts, the +1 position.
I love it.
Back to our pressure application. Also seeing that our boy Nick V is in the big blind, or in the small blind now. Eric in the big blind, both trying to squeak into the money. Both can be very vulnerable. These are all going to be passes. Nick waking up with the ace-jack of spades in the cutoff. I don't think. Oh my gosh, facing bin Wang's open too.
This is an absolutely like you just want to you don't want any decisions, right? You want it to be aces or 7 deuce.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a spot
Like
here.
this. I'm using all my time banks but 1 here regardless, actually, because I think it's a good time to expend, try to get those knockouts, make a
100%.
decision.
Absolutely.
I want to keep 1 behind. Take your time, Nick. Take your time. We're here to tank with you. We all have no idea what to do either.
You know,
See?
we're right at that bubble. I mean, this is obviously as strong a hand as he's going to see, as you would expect to see. Like, this is the kind of hand that you're hoping to wait for, and you're against someone we know, Ben. Ben can put in raises without premiums early position. You know, it's certainly plausible that he's way in front like we see here, but he's been folding. Does he have enough help in the room for him to actually get into the money and fold here, or is this just too strong?
The interesting consideration here is, too, because Ben opens so wide, we can be dominating him a lot here, too, with our hand, because he could be opening worse ace.
Sure.
We don't have fold equity, obviously, because his open already covers us. So there is some...
I think it's just a matter of does he think he's going to pick up a better hand, and are they going to be getting into the money within the next 5 hands? Because he's going to be forced in the big blind anyway.
We see Kevin Grable behind with an ace-9 on the button.
I think it should be a pretty comfortable pass for him. And doesn't perform well against anything, especially under the gun one open.
For 2 big blinds with a chance to knock someone out. Here we are going to see a call.
Well,
and then Nick being the small blind with a queen jack of diamonds, I wouldn't be surprised to see this go
complete here is fine, yeah.
to go several ways to the flop, but he is going to let that one go.
I guess the reverse implied odds in his mind, he's trying to squeak in when he's happy to just pass.
Yep, and Eric in the big blind with the king-7 offsuit, 1 big blind to call.
He's getting a great price as long as he can navigate not stacking off. He chooses to pass.
Is going to let this one go. So we are going to go 3-way to the flop. Nick Scholes all in and at risk with an ace-jack suited. We will have a side pot here coming out with continued action from both Bin Wang and Kevin Grable.
What's Bin Wang going to do what Bin Wang does?
Yeah, Nick just needs to fade. He doesn't need to hit. He just needs to fade 9, 5s, 3s, hearts.
Okay.
10, 5, 9, 2 diamonds. We see the pair of 9s for Kevin in the lead. Bin Wang with the pair of 5s. He's going to check it over to Kevin Grable. We have some questions. Who are the commentators? I am Matt McNeil, Whitesmith the Blacksmith, joined by Nick Imakuchi, known as Cooch to many people, and Rishi Mehta, known as Nick B.
That's what I was going to say.
Kevin Grable betting his 9, cleaning up some of the equity, and other Nick, seeing.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Nick is that we do have 2 of the jacks already out. So he is drawing to just the jack of clubs or running straight cards.
He's got a queen for a sweat.
8, queen.
8's a super sweat.
That's fair.
That's fair fight.
King even.
King for a sweat, queen, 8.
There's
for
the
a
8.
sweat.
There's the 8. We get an open end now for Nick. Plenty of more outs.
Oh,
6 of
3
clubs,
side,
not
too.
going to do it.
GG, Nick. GG,
Nick
man.
Scholes gonna bubble our tournament here in the Borgata Summer Poker Open Championship event.
We will see that number drop to 73, I imagine, and we are
In
now
just a moment. We
going
are
to
on
be
a stone bubble.
stone bubble.
Very well played, Nick. Very unfortunate. Just a very tough spot to walk into here at our feature table. Not having chips coming into the table and not really getting anything to pick up to try and accumulate before the blinds brought him all the way down. I really liked every single spot that he chose or passed on. I don't think there's any complaints trying to limp into the bubble there, or limp into the money there. Now again on our stone bubble.
He picked the best spot he could, battled as hard as he could. GG, sir.
They're not in hand for hand.
I see that the payouts. We were told we were 10 away going in. I've only seen 71 payouts in the top corner with the payout scroll. So we may actually not be on the
Are
stone
they in
bubble
hand for
yet.
hand or no?
Oh, really? Oh, well, as we hear one of them. Oh, no, it's been now updated to 73.
No, but I was looking at the scrolling payouts in the corner.
Oh.
Where I believe it was
Thank
only
you.
71, so we may not be on that stone
we pay
bubble.
at 71, so we're on the
Yeah.
soft bubble right now.
So that when we came in, we were told we were 10 off the money,
71
but it is 71 payouts.
Oh, wow.
So we are now 2 off
Is
the
it
money.
72 or 71?
Oh, I thought it was 70. I haven't looked in hours.
The table's saying the same thing, asking the same questions as us. But Nick Scholes, again, well played. Very, very just unfortunate spot at our feature table here. Congrats on the 5-month-old Everly, and again, shout out to the 16-year-old Ava as well. I hope you did enjoy your time here. Sorry, I felt
sounds like some life run good at least, which is what's important. As Gregory finds it open with the Queen 10 of Hearts to 12K. I pass.
Action folding to our blinds.
Ooh. Tony with the hand.
Hey, Tony.
Hey. Tony.
Eric Starker going to pitch the Queen 8. Ace Jack going to defend the big blind here.
Almost got it through.
Okay, Greg.
All right, take it easy now. Not go crazy.
Queen 7-4 all spades. Top pair for Gregory, pair of queens. The Jack high flush draw for Tony in the big blind.
That's a lot of spades.
Got any spades?
Plausible question.
Asks the question and finds the check back.
Check, check. 6 of spades in the turn is going to give Tony the check mark and the best hand.
He does decide to lead.
Looks like 10K is the bet. Just under a third
Do you
pot.
have a spade?
Now talking to Gregory.
Asking the same question that Greg brought up just moments earlier. Shows the queen as he folds.
Shows the Jack of Spades. Very
Friendly, very friendly.
Yeah.
Had a decent queen.
A little bit too far too friendly.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
here.
just gave you a courtesy show. because
There you go.
gave
Look
me
at this.
one.
Even defining his own
You
etiquette.
a stand-up guy.
Take care. Thank you.
Good game, man.
Thanks.
Thank you. Nice job.
That is going to mark the end of our level. We're going to have a new dealer in the box. That is going to be the aforementioned
We
Chris.
got to get along, right?
Oh, wait.
You're not gonna
Our
break
blinds are
this table.
going up to 4,000
Well,
small
we
blind,
at 3 at
8,000
6,
chip
yeah.
big blind, and 8,000 big blind ante. Price of poker going up a little bit. We can see the chip stack sizes shrinking. Eric Starker now on 14 big blinds, having been just over 20
you
before the
are a stand-up
blinds
gentleman,
and
I
on the
must say
previous
that.
blind level. Been weighing down to only 116
Greg?
bigs, leading our table,
nice.
and going to certainly be one of, if not the
Okay,
top
so
stack in the room.
how
I mean,
far is that
some of the tournaments we
from-
play online don't even start with
from
116
New
big
York?
blinds.
No.
And he's got that in a main event here at
with
Borgata.
70
Oh, wow.
on the bubble.
On the
soft
bubble.
I went to New York for
Yeah.
the first time
pretty
just
nice.
a few days ago.
Pretty nice place
It
to
was-
be.
It was an amazing.
As one of the most seasoned players in the room as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll also be
Yeah,
nice
favorite part.
down here at Borgata on August 8th.
Well,
For
believe it or
the,
not,
for the
my-
Saturday
well,
series,
my
they're doing
favorite
a
part
6
was
figures
at the very
guaranteed,
end of the trip.
100K.
It's
I did a
100K?
little
Yep.
taxi ride,
So
but it was
August
a
8th here at
taxi with a
Borgata if you
guy
want to.
That's a great tournament.
like
So somebody in the
riding
chat,
a
they haven't
electric
played the
bike.
Borgata before, they can come on down and
All
play that
around-
if they like.
It's a great
all
tournament.
around the
Played in a couple of
all
those
around
myself.
the city, and it was just beautiful. And of course, the Empire State Building was cool.
No, they have yeah, it's
uh,
definitely a great.
I mean, I felt like King Kong up there.
This will be interesting.
You went all the way up.
No,
Wakes
I didn't
up with the
climb up
jiggities.
there.
No,
Could you
you
imagine
didn't
me
climb.
trying
Greg
to climb
opening
up
pair of
that bad
sixes,
boy like
Greg
King
with
Kong?
pair of
Ratio
jacks
and-
here as
You
Tony
gotta see
Tony
the
describing
fire
his
when you get there.
his travels to New York
Oh
City.
man, I love me some
How many
King
days
Kong.
were you
man.
there for?
I was only there for that one day, but
Flat
but
from
it was an
Grable.
experience I'll never forget.
Very interesting. It's interesting just solely on the premise that he's covering Gregory. But Gregory's also open 2.5 here, I guess. Which is
We do have been in the big blind. May factor into that as well.
very privy observation.
Yeah, but would you be more apt to 3-bet and fold to cold 4
Yeah.
or flat, and then just get
Yeah, I
squeezed
went
out of
to
the
the
hand?
Lions.
I think he's
That
flatting
was
to
pretty
induce
cool.
spin, to be honest.
Think
with
so?
you. Yeah, I do. But you're right. With
Have you
ICM
been to
pressure,
the-
maybe
Have you
maybe
been
he's
to the
doing the
Lions?
opposite. Maybe he's doing it
Been
to
to the
fold to
Lions?
evaluate if Ben squeezes and then Gregory decides to make an action.
Yeah.
I guess Kevin's now under
you ever
repped.
been to any
So
Broadway
problem is
shows?
navigating now.
King 9-5. No improvement for either hand. 2 spades. Gregory does have backdoor spade draw, both with some backdoor straight draws as well. Kevin still
Yeah.
ahead
people
with
love
the
it,
pair
though.
of
People
jacks.
love Broadway, and I mean the shows are great.
Yeah.
I've lived in Manhattan for like 12 years,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I got to see
Checks
Times
through 5 on the
Square.
turn, no change. We're going to see a stab here from Gregory. 15,000 into the 60K pot, so quarter pot here.
I don't think that's going to do it for Kevin. I mean, he's so underrepped. You know, we saw Gregory check on the flop.
Hey, we're
Very quick call from
into like
Kevin
a-
Grable
I
here.
think given the delayed c-bet, I think Kevin Shorty has the best hand right now as well, to be honest with you. I think a lot of kings would c-bet on flop, especially flush draw board.
man, I'm just-
Now
I just
Kevin's
like to have a
100%
good
sure he
time.
has the best hand.
5 on the river. It is going to get checked over to him, and the question now is, does he go for value and how
I think
much?
small bet's pretty nice. 25K quarter pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Gregory
Looks
be
like
pretty
30-ish.
passive.
Third pot. I like the bet. He's going to be met with a call.
Very quick call from
Nice bet for
Gregory.
Grable. Yeah. Nice bet, nice bet. Probably made the maximum in this hand.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Gregory been
Now,
pretty passive, and Kevin's, you know, astute enough to pay attention to previous hands, right? So the way that he's been playing hands and the actions in that current one.
we see him with that pot up over that 500,000 chip mark, and you can see 66 big blinds now for Kevin Grable, also accumulating some chips here at our feature table during day 2 action, just shy of the money bubble here at the Borgata Summer Poker Opens Championship event, powered by BetMGM Poker. I don't believe anyone at our table here was an online qualifier. I know that Michael Renna is very frequent in the online streets as well.
Yes, he
but
is.
I'm not sure if I don't believe I saw him on the list of satellite winners
I don't
into
believe
this.
so either. I think he fired it outright. As he finds the open with the Jack 6 of diamonds. Again, just doing ICM things.
Very next hand after the jacks, Kevin looks down and picks up 1 pip higher, a pair of queens.
Let's see if this qualifies for a 3-bet from a covering stacks open. It's a bit more dangerous. It's funny. It's okay, I won't foreshadow too much. Now I will. We'll see if Mike wants to, knowing Grable's image, knowing Renna's, Renna might find the 4 here.
Yeah, it pops it a little over 6x, right?
3x from the open, but yes, 6.75x from the line.
Ace Queen suited for Tony here. This is an interesting spot. I'm not sure how I would choose to play this. This almost feels like flat or fold.
I think he just gets to fold, to be honest with you.
With the stack sizes and where we're at in the tournament, you can see.
And the particular configuration, +1, +2, open 3-bet. I think he just gets to fold.
Does get
very
away.
Nice, Tony. Very nice.
Ace Queen suited, very, very pretty to look at, and just it's one of those in this exact spot in the tournament. It's easy to not get crazy with, but I can see a lot, especially as deep as he is as well. I can see a lot of people potentially wanting to put
peel
it,
at least,
trying to play that in position on the button.
100%. As Renna just immediately folds.
Definitely no issues with the fold there. Again, as you mentioned, with the configuration, we saw how much trouble he would have been in with Grable having the queens.
Ace, queen of spades. Big hand. There was an open, and you re-raised. So I figured one of you had a really big hand. And ace queen, what they call the ace queen, they call it a parking lot hand, right?
Really? I didn't know that.
It's stranded.
There's plenty of names for
They
plenty
call
of
ace
hands, but
queen
ace
the
queen is a
parking
hand that gets a lot of people in trouble. You can also win quite a few chips there as well, of course, but
As Renna finds the open with the 8-6 of spades under the gun. Doing chip leader things.
Holding after this hand.
We're holding.
No, you're good.
Oh.
1-4.
Or second in chip leader things.
I wanted you to fold.
Tony, the very next hand after mucking the ace queen, wakes up with ace jack in the cutoff.
Edgar Rodriguez checking in from Boston, Massachusetts, and sending some love our way.
Yeah, shout out to Edgar. Edgar's been in the streams consistently over the last couple of weeks. Appreciate the support.
Just the fold from the ace jack there.
Is this hand for hand?
I think they one more.
I think we just heard someone ask, is this hand for hand, which means We may have lost another.
We do see the graphic in our top right corner having been updated.
Indeed.
There's a 1K chip stuck in there.
Oh, that's what.
And yeah, we are on our stone bubble.
Bomb pot.
Yeah, leave it for fun. Yeah, hand for hand now, guys.
Justin, thanks for the love, man. Appreciate you.
As we can hear, we are hand for hand. And we're going to be waiting until action completes at all the tables in the room. There was a question earlier, are they still going to do that with the shot clocks? Certainly, because it will help coordinate the order of knockouts, so that even with shot clocks, if you were to take 2, 3, 4 minutes within one hand and someone else plays a hand quickly, the hand which hand started first, what's the order they're going to choose for those knockouts? Hand for hand eliminates any of that gray area. While we are waiting, we already brought up the Saturday series, but towards the end of August, there's a few more series here at the Borgata in Atlantic City. There's the August mini grind coming up the 20th through the 23rd. It's a great way to get in on the action without the large buy-ins. And then right after that is the pure grind series with Alpha Stack Madness running from August 26th through the 30th. It's the pure grind series Alpha Stack Madness with deep stacks and deep fields down here at the Borgata.
7.
We have what should be 8 full tables. We're getting our table filled here.
Is that Aunt Zeno? I believe it is, right? Sure. I think I recognize him. I played with him a couple of times before here at Borgata. But I think taking a look at Poker News before we had the stream starting today, he was up among one of the chip leaders as well. So depending on his stack size, it would be pretty sick to see him battle it out with Rena and Ben and the rest of the players here while we're on the stone bubble.
Yep.
We do get the bio sheets at the start of the stream, but we did not get them for the two most recent entrants here in the booth. So it's good that you guys recognize and know. Well, we saw you on the stream already, Rish, but you guys recognize and know the people joining us here.
356.
Sounded like 356K maybe?
Yeah, I believe they're getting an accurate count for the stream.
Yep.
Our floor, kind of looking like Tyrion Lannister.
As we see the payouts for the top 10 of this tournament, which we'll get to towards the end of the day tomorrow and into the final table stream that we have this coming Friday. Playing for up to $242,000 and a little bit of change for first place here at the championship event of the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Open, powered by BetMGM Poker.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if we blow up a bus, it's going to be a celebration.
While we also, again, are waiting for the action across the room, just a little bit more info on a few of the players at our table here. Eric Starker in our seat 1. We had 4 hobbies or interests or other things about him, and we got golf, hockey, horses, girlfriend were the 4 things that he listed.
Golf, hockey, horses, girlfriend.
Yep.
He must have been in that
order?
competing company's mystery bag tournament where they have mini horse.
Oh.
Definitely
golf, hockey, mini horse, girlfriend.
From upstairs, definitely.
And I will not. I don't know which order he would have put them in. I started with sports. But we did get a chance to shout out his girlfriend Mandy a little bit earlier.
Shout out Mandy.
Seat 2, just a little bit more with Tony. We brought up before from Georgia. He's a minister in Georgia. A poker player for about 21 years.
Wow.
He has been on stream, he mentioned, down at events down in Jacksonville. And we got a much larger bio from him. We touched base on a little bit of it, but as mentioned, he is playing with a heavy heart here with the recent passing of his mother. And then as we heard him discussing his trip to New York and kind of in her honor going and taking the trip to New York City, and then also, unfortunately, as well, just within the past week, his best friend passing as well, he found out. So very much playing with a heavy heart, and again, our condolences to Tony, his family, and friends.
Anybody connected calls me Tony.
Up from Georgia. Seat 3,
Still playing with a smile, too.
You got a good name.
Seat 3, Ben Wang, as we all have been very familiar with over many of the months and years here. Living in Vegas by way originally from China. One child, we shout out his son Chris a little bit earlier. And again, a very, very difficult player to navigate. And we saw a few comments in the chat as well about that, to play against a very difficult opponent.
Most definitely.
We'll continue the action here.
As we saw confirmed, Cooch, that is Anthony Zeno, who has jumped into our feature table.
Yeah, it's just, it's amazing to see just a random, table draw find his way to the feature table in this illustrious, characters that we have here.
We see it, the open from Bin, up to 16,000 to Jack 10.
They really are.
Going to get a 3-bet for most of the stack, a little more than half the stack from Gregory here with the Ace Queen. Very quick fold from Bin. Gregory gonna take in a small pot and back up to about 300K.
Very privy to know from Grable as well. He passed on the King Jack O just now as an open, which would have been typically a standard open. But acknowledging the dynamics and just choosing a pass, he saved himself some chips.
Under the gun on a stone money bubble with the stacks that we have, late position or blinds. Very, very easy and understandable to let the King Jack slide there. And we'll be just a moment here again as well as we do continue the hand for hand right on our stone money bubble. We'll continue with working our way around the table with Jason Seller here from Pennsylvania. Been playing poker for also about 20 years. Did cash the World Series main event this summer. And we have what hobbies, interests, anything you'd like to know about? Go Birds.
Oh, gosh.
How do you feel about that one, Cooch?
Not particularly good at all. He's quickly become a villain for me.
Cooch is a unfortunate Giants fan, which is just kind of a sad, miserable existence right now.
Man, not after we got Mr. Harbaugh
Up at us in the division.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this year.
Weigh in with your teams in the comments, guys. Let's give Cooch something to squirm about.
Continuing around the table with Greg Bauer again from Brooklyn, just a little bit more here. Also about 20 years playing poker. Very, very similar, all in these early 2000s. Not very surprising there during that poker boom in the early 2000s. Been playing for about 20 years. As again, mentioned a little bit earlier, a father of two. Brianna and Melissa, 2 daughters. And he said here, I look to the left, I look to the right, I can't find the fish at the table. And as apt as can be with this table. And I mean, very, very fun, very, very high-level table.
Was he the one speaking in between Rena and Wang?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So having some fun here with that, it seems.
He wrote that before that.
He wrote that before we started on stream today. Now they have been playing together.
Yeah, true.
Next to him is Michael Renna, we've mentioned before. From New Jersey, playing for 10 years. Won the Almighty here for just shy of $200,000 in the Borgata Winter Poker Open this year in 2026. We did have him on stream. I got a chance to run into him. As you mentioned, you actually stayed with him this summer, but I got a chance to run into him a few different times just throughout the Borgata afterwards. And just a very nice, friendly person, someone very, very easy to root for, and definitely applies a lot of pressure. And we can see him here poised to make another deep run at our main event, championship event here in the Summer Open. As action here, Bin Wang picking up the Ace-King, and it feels unfair to see him with monsters. And
hey, look, Bin Wang has a monster. No resistance. He's going to show everyone.
Yeah.
So that he can open the 9-3-0 later.
Exactly.
He's now. See, I'm opening real hands.
Yep. And
we need to have somebody run out there and tell Michael to boost his share up a little bit.
We had a couple comments in chat from it looked like from another known name in the online New Jersey streets, Eric Van Auken, who I did see unfortunately on his way out of here today.
Oh, needle.
Early on in this tournament, sounded like a quick and short day before a drive home.
Earlier in the chat, Eric Van Auken said Rishi opens to 3.5x under the gun, and that's because he on a different site has decided to make his screen name my full government name, where people are texting me on Sundays asking why I'm opening to 3.5x under the gun, to which I have to respond, that is not me.
I did see a comment in chat from I Am Offensive saying Whitey's a Bengals fan, isn't he? I seem to remember a certain outfit on stream.
That was a friendly wager that you and I had, Cooch, if I'm not mistaken.
What was that about? I don't
that
remember.
was it would have been a series and part of the online U.S. It's now U.S. Poker Discord, players run Discord. We had a fantasy series that we ran for an online series back before Pennsylvania joined some of the interstate action when it was just a fenced-in state. And we run a number of different fantasy events. We will actually be running one in the online streets for the upcoming BetMGM online series, which begins next week. But we had a pick a team who you thought was going to score the most fantasy points.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I lost the wager, so I ended up on a Twitch stream with Cooch at the end of that series in a Halloween costume, I believe it was.
What was it?
It was a onesie.
Of what?
Well,
Mini horse?
it was what, a leopard? It was a leopard or a cheetah onesie, something like that.
No way. We have to have clips from this, yes?
Oh, we did.
That's the comment. The comment from I Am Offensive is that there was a picture taken and posted of some of the Bengals cheerleaders with me.
That is brilliant.
We've done a number of those costume props. I believe the next one we were like neck and neck. It was so close that we ended up actually doing a combined costume prop where we were Sully and Mike Wazowski.
No
that was
way.
A fun one.
That's awesome, dude.
That was a fun
Y'all
one.
were drafting poker players in fantasy tournament?
Online.
That is really cool.
Yep.
Oh, let me know. That sounds kind of cool. I
Yep.
might be down. No way. Oh, it's like a leotard. It's not even a onesie.
We'll loop back on this.
This is so important.
Our action continues here.
This is important as well. Sorry.
We have a raise with the jacks from Tony. Anthony Michael on the button with an ace queen.
Wait.
Looks like he's just going to make a call here.
Nick B getting some love from our boy Koof. Shout out to Nick B, a.k.a. me.
Action folds to Kevin in the big blind with an 8-7 of hearts.
Completing the big blind.
We're going to go three-way to the flop here. Michael, very interestingly, choosing just to flat behind Tony's open. Ace-5 deuce on the flop is going to give Michael top pair with that ace. Very likely respecting what he expects to be a very strong opening range for Tony on this stone bubble into the large stacks here. We're going to see a c-bet of 20K into the 87,000 chip pot. Over to Michael Renner. We know he's certainly not going anywhere. We'll see how he chooses to approach this with two diamonds and a spade on the board, the pair of aces, and a covering stack and the ability to apply pressure if he so chooses.
He is going for the raise right now.
Looks like 55, a little click, or is that going to be 80? Yep, 55. Kevin Grable's quickly stepping aside with the suited 7-8, and Tony looking back down at the jacks, and that's also going to go into the muck here. No second thought without the diamond. No real second thought there. No reason to get into it here with a covering stack on this stone bubble.
I had it. Yeah.
You had an ace.
King 8 of spades again.
Yeah, and I like it too. I mean, he's trying to build the pot pretty quickly, and he's not trying to slow play. Wants to get value out of his hand.
He flatted pre as well, right?
Yeah.
I think he figures he's pretty under-wrapped. He can get weaker aces to continue and then deny equity to diamonds as well.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a whole combination of reasons for raising there, especially in position. It becomes a lot more comfortable.
No.
Not with two guys, not with two callers.
You were in Vegas too, right?
And starting September 13th, Borgata unveils the big series, Riche, powered by BetMGM Poker. 11 main events, over $6 million guaranteed. Are you going to be down there for this?
I might have to be. I might have to be, especially if we have some streams. Might have to hop back in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a look at the event schedule.
I think there's some satellites as well, some qualifiers.
Absolutely. We got some qualifiers starting up. There's milestone qualifiers kick off every other hour, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. $250 1 in 10s to any 2200, $140 1 in 10s to any 1100, and the 1000 Borgata Big 3 at 4 p.m. But we have events ranging anywhere from $1,100 all the way up to 10.2K. If anybody is interested in coming down, there's a big stay and play bonus. Book before August 29th. You get to stay 10 nights for $999 with code BIG.
That does not include, just as a quick disclaimer, resorts fees or taxes. However, if you're gold or above in terms of the MGM rewards, those resort fees are also waived.
Yeah, if you've been getting any of my Baccarat references, you probably won't be paying any resort fees.
To walk that strip, you gotta have alcohol.
But that does cover the entire Big series, a 10-day stay.
Less than that entire 10-day stay is less than one night.
And it's the check-in for that package is the Sunday, September 13th through Wednesday, the 23rd only. So it is specific for that time frame, for those dates for the series. But that's a fantastic value for a lot of the weekend rates down here at the Borgata. A full 10-day stay for $200, is going to be a great value, a great return on value for what you would be looking at if you just chose to book that on your own.
Definitely.
We are going to continue here with our next hand as we continue hand-for-hand action right on our stone bubble here at the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Opens Championship event. Again, Day 2 feature table coverage. We'll be here through the end of this level, and then we'll be taking a dinner break with the players, or a 30-minute delay after the players, we should say, and we'll be back with a brand new stream after that dinner break. We still have a ways to go in this level.
Nothing to see here. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the love. Appreciate you, man. New sub.
We see Michael opening the 6 deuce of diamonds from the cutoff, and a fairly sizable 3-bet here from Anthony on the button, up to just under 10 big blinds with the ace-9. Rishi B in the big blind with the king 4 of diamonds, taking a pause.
Pretty sure I'm going to pass.
And there it is.
Thank you, Baron White. Thank you for all the love. O'Shea Poker, you are correct. Rena did have a deep run this year in Vegas.
And Michael not going to come back at Anthony here. Anthony going to take in the pot here and approach the 400,000 chip mark as well. Welcome to the table, Anthony.
Yeah, I didn't just pick it up, guys. Don't get me kicked out of here.
Floor.
Do you want to break this?
Players giving Anzino some gripe for not picking up the pot.
Those are lunch.
He's just trying to leave it in there for the next hand, that's all.
I should have bluffed you.
Oh, like right around here.
It dumped you.
Commentating.
It dumped you 50K.
And so as we're on the stone bubble here, we do have to wait for all the other tables to complete their current hand, and then we move on to the next one.
We hear Anzino asking about who's in the booth. Again, this is on a 30-minute delay. They were talking about him popping over to say hello. We did not actually have him pop in and stop in.
As you see, Nick B just got up. You think they would have noticed if I just had
Now I want
Run out, you just magically run out of the booth and end up on the table and nobody knows.
throw Nick B in the booth here?
How is your quick change in terms of wardrobe changes?
I can throw on a Sixers hoodie real quick. We're usually wearing the same thing, the big guy fit. Nike socks.
No,
Slides.
I didn't park so
Got the whole fit
like
down.
15
We were both wearing a black
minutes.
T-shirt yesterday with the hoodie around.
So like we're
You guys text each other in the morning and plan out the
fit, coordinate the fit, just to make sure that no one has ever seen us in the same room at the same time.
Yeah.
Not yet, but we might have to start working on it.
Winton Creek and Bethlehem.
Tried to
is
bluff me.
nice. They have a good.
I tried to bluff myself in the Almighty, but I ended up calling me.
Did it work?
The bluff did not work. I heroed myself correctly.
Yeah, nice. If you got a good solid home game, you know.
Yeah.
Reception.
What stakes do you play? 2-5, 5-10.
Yeah, 2-5, 5-10.
Usually got 5.
Here I'm talking about other local games, relatively local games. I think many people hear familiar faces in the regional, in this region, the regional circuit. Any number of people we'll have on stream here will be visible or known to a lot of the players, both in the New Jersey and Philadelphia and New York area. Not both, in the New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York areas. Did get a chance to actually see Kevin Grable before he came on stream here, like right before, as we were going into the break. We were watching a very large all-in. I think you were with us as well, Reese. A very large all-in right before the break. I think it was about a 350K pot, in just about 11 players shy of the bubble to create an elimination. And it was, a number of local recognizable Philly players, and it was just a whole bunch of people in, kind of in the circle around the table.
It was very interesting.
And then we turned around and I just walked over this way with Grable on our way back over as we were setting up here, and I was like, oh, he's going to be with us here. Cool, fantastic. It's great to have.
The camaraderie is incredible over here at the Borgata, and just generally when everyone's together. And even though they're all competitors and we're all competitors, there's a lot of friendship, a lot of strategy discussion, and everyone just trying to do the best they can.
Yep. We're going to continue with our next hand here. We see an ace-jack raised by Jason, and ace-jack from Michael in the hijack.
3-bet incoming, I presume.
It's a little bit weird in terms of the stack size. So we'll see. Yeah, I was gonna say we'll see if he does choose that. Ace-jack gonna be just a call here from Michael.
Respecting the +2 open.
Yeah, again on the stone money bubble, raising into a covering stack, and another pretty close to even stack on the button. Technically Jason covering Kevin, but within 2 big blinds of each other.
It's still inherently pretty strong, right?
Absolutely. The king 9 for 2 hearts on the flop, no pair for either. Michael Renna with the only heart out of the 2, so it does pick up the backdoor heart draw.
Backdoor straight draw for both of them as well, yes.
We had a question in the chat, is it the bubble? Yes, we are on the stone money bubble. There's 72 remaining in the tournament. We are hand for hand. 71 places will be paid. The 71st place, the min cash is $6,445 on this $2,700 buy-in. So a little bit more than a 2x payout.
As we see Renna capitalizing on a check when he imagines that the Thrazer would be c-betting most of his range on this king-high board that connected. Once he decides to slow down, start betting his equity. And
just get a chance to apply some of that bubble pressure
in position as well.
Yep. Using the chips in the position to his advantage. And we see now Michael Renna also at the 900,000 chip mark. Both Ben and Michael have accumulated some chips here at our table so far on our featured table, and positioning themselves for some potential deep runs throughout the week.
Yeah, I think we saw Renna get 4-bet the last couple of times that he did put in a 3-bet. So, switching up his game a little bit, going to the flop. He could float a lot of flops. He doesn't have to hit. People are going to be hesitant to even range bet, a lot of times, or c-bet. And he could float and eventually take down pots on later streets. So, showing that he's multifaceted there.
Yeah, and exactly that, using that position to his advantage and forcing whoever may be acting, in this case, Jason acting before him, to decide if he wants to put in chips without any pair, if he wants to call anything without any pair. And we see with the same hand forcing the fold on what would be a chop pot in most circumstances if we get to showdown.
Yeah.
Said good.
We are continuing hand for hand. So every single hand is played across the room. Each table completes their action before the next hand is dealt. This will only be happening on the stone bubble here. Once we get into the money, hand for hand will stop until the final table stone bubble.
Hey, look, Ben Wang has a monster.
It's just a consistent theme. When he's under a gun, he either has 5-3 or ace-king or ace-queen.
And we are going to see the ace-queen this time come in for the raise from Ben.
4 and 5 fold, 6 fold.
Action's been folded around the table here. Pair of 3s in the cutoff for Kevin Grable. It's something that you, at this depth, you can sometimes see some people wanting to take flops, maybe do some set mining.
Flatty.
Looks like we're going to get that from Kevin
Especially
here.
being on the money bubble, going to be less squeezes behind him.
Yep.
With Ben having as many chips as he does.
Yep. And
gets to play a bit more passive.
looks like it's going to fold over to Tony in the big blind with a 9-8 of clubs. I expect we'll go 3-way to the flop here as we see Tony make that call.
He likes to peel his cards respectfully, like UTH cards. He doesn't bend them. He just lifts them up, which is interesting.
So we, again, 3-way to the flop here. Ace-Queen for Ben Wang, 9-8 of clubs for Tony Workman, pocket 3s for Kevin Grable, Jack 7-4, no pairs, no improvement for anybody, a gut shot for Tony, 2 overs for Ben, the pair of 3s, the best hand currently, but we can see not the highest equity.
Three to a straight flush for Tony. Probably not going to be slightly deep enough. Could warrant appeal.
Checking through multi-way, that's a tough one, especially on that stone bubble.
True.
Kevin, again, using that position right here when it checks to him to put in that first little feeler bet. We'll see how Ben chooses to approach this.
Such a dry board. And it's like, yeah, he could have a Jack 7 or a 4 here, but I also could be ahead with ace high some of the times.
Wow.
I also may want to be putting some pressure.
To check raise right now, targeting a cap, what he believes to be, I guess, a cap stabbing range from Kevin. Even though in a texture this dry, I guess he presumes
that 98K, give or take?
Wow,
66, 68. I missed the count there, just a bit.
Kevin Grable going to his chips. This is where.
Quick fold for Kevin. Nice little chip up for Ben and back up just shy of that 1 million chip mark. I believe that's a new high water at the 983K. Wow. I think that's the highest that we've seen Ben so far today. And again, just shy of 1 million chips here as we continue hand-for-hand action. And we'll have just a moment here between hands as we continue playing towards this money bubble, the min cash of 6,400 and change. Which will be in the money soon enough. You see the clock stopped behind us. We are advancing every single hand. They are manually advancing the clock. I believe it's 2 minutes a hand. And we'll continue here. I guess we were one of the last hands with that action. We'll continue, again, playing down very close to the money. We should be in the money relatively soon. But these hand-for-hand, depending on where our short stacks are across the room, can sometimes go for a little while, which again is why they do pause that clock and manually move that down, because people are going to take a little bit more time for some of these decisions.
7, 8, 9, fold.
I think we did see Michael Rena open, but we had a little bit of a graphical error here.
Yep, we have, looks to be pocket 7s for Eric Striker on the button.
Call.
It's Eric Starker on the button. Is going to make a call. Is going to call off of a little over 10 big blinds. And Ben with ace 3 in the big blind. Also going to join us. We're going to go 3-way to the flop again here. Ace 3 for Ben Wang, queen 6 of spades for Michael Rena, the pre-flop aggressor, and then Eric Starker on the button with a pair of 7s. You can see 46% there. Flop comes 9, 5, 3. Pair of 3s for Ben, some backdoor straight and flush chances for Michael. Pair of 7s currently in the lead, 66% chance to win as it currently stands with all 3 in the hand for Eric Starker on the button. We're going to get the C-bet from Michael Rena, 21K into the 63K pot, third pot.
Yes, it's a tough spot for Eric. It's probably not a hand I would be flatting here on the button so short and close to the money, but it's a pretty easy decision. You know, if you don't flop a 7, you're probably going to be out of there fairly quickly with, you know, the 2 chip leaders at the table looking to provide aggression.
And he is going to fold. There's going to be other times at a tournament that might be a hand that he chooses to go with there, because that's not a terrible board for the 7s. But on this stone bubble, not a spot that you really want to take, especially having enough chips where, you know, should think that he would be able to make it into the money. Bin not going anywhere. We are going to go to turn, and the 3 of hearts on the turn gives Bin trip threes. You can see the check mark next to his name. He will win this hand if it gets to showdown. Does check that back over to Michael Renna. And with the 2 stack sizes here, I expect we may see Michael slow down, but we definitely know we get aggression from him, so we'll see what he chooses to do here.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, he's thinking about it. You know, he knows Bin is very capable of, you know, coming into the pot with hands such as, you know, 4-7, 4-6, 7-8, 7-6.
I love being wrong. That looks like an overbet from what we saw. Full pot. Full pot. I thought I saw 5 of the pink 25K chips. Just 105,000, a full pot bet from Michael here. Bin with the trip threes. See how he chooses to now navigate with the size up from Michael here on the stone bubble, and Michael being covered, betting a full pot into a covering stack with still close to 100 big blinds behind.
Yeah, using one of those time bank chips, thinking about what he wants to do here, and it's, you know, he could have the best hand, he might not. You know, there's 5s full out there, there's 9s full.
Are we really going to go full pot with 5s and 9s?
I mean, if you're 120 big blinds deep and want to get all the money in by the river, potentially.
Sure.
You know, but typically not. But it's also a curious bet, you know, in a line by Michael, and it's I think they're going to be the biggest pot that we've had so far.
Yeah, this is interesting because, I mean, this 3 just smashes the big blinds range, right? We're condensed now to like 9s and 5s for value against a 3.
We are going to get just the call from Bin, 10 of diamonds on the river. You can see Bin still check mark, not changing there. Has the best hand with trip threes.
It's interesting to see the bet from Renna on the turn, such a large bet as well, because he has a 6 in his hand, so he blocks hands like 7-6, which are continues for Bin. I imagine after getting called on the turn for such a large bet, he's just going to check back this river. I don't think we're too inclined to bet this texture unless we're just repping solely, like y'all said, 9s, 5s, and like
maybe 10. Like maybe 10s is the kind of hand that could fire a pot on that turn.
Sure. But like aces probably sometimes pot controls the turn and checks back as well. I mean, I know flush draw picks up on the turn. Renna taking his time to think about this.
We got 315,000 in the pot. 750 behind for Michael, 830 behind for Bin. This is the largest pot
going for it
that we've had to date here, and it will only get larger if Michael does put these chips in that he's reaching for.
5. This looks like 275 he's counting out so far. 310. Is that what we're going for, Mike?
310, 315 range.
One of the 2, yeah. Wow, what a bet. I think he's going to get snapped off.
I think, yeah, I don't think we're going to get much raise here from Bin.
Renna went pot on the turn as well. Did we go Geo? Pot
We
turn,
went
pot
here.
Pot, Geo 3. Wow.
Very quick call from Bin. Michael Renna shows the queen 6. Bin does scoop a huge pot here, up to almost 1.5 million now. You see him at 1.46 million for Bin Wang, and certainly now in a commanding table chip lead, and we expect him to be right up at, if not, or near or at the top in the entire room with 183 big blinds here on the Stone Money bubble. And man, I'm feeling sick if I'm anyone else in the room saying, how are we giving Bin Wang
all the chips?
All of the chips, and he this has a chance to be a lot of fun for Bin throughout the rest of the day today. He can now do pretty much whatever he wants. Like even if he doubles second place at our table, he'll be basically even with that stack.
Even worse, he was doing whatever he wants when he had like 30 bigs.
I love Renna. He was like, what? Just a setup hand.
Yeah, just a cooler, a pure cooler. Absolutely. As he taps the table at the end of that hand and gives Ben his.
We were the last of the hands in the hand for hand there, so we'll continue right away. And Gregory with pair of kings, pocket cowboys. KK under the gun, going to come in for a raise to 20K. 2.5 big, so a slightly larger pre-flop than we've seen in some instances. On the button, Tony going to pick up ace-queen.
And we've seen him flat a lot in these spots.
We saw him fold ace-queen to a 3-bet. In this case, we saw him, I think, an ace-jack and ace-queen exactly doing some of those flats. We'll see how he chooses and just folds on the stone bubble. And I very much can understand that again as well. Like, this is Gregory raising under the gun into an entire covering table on the stone
Put
bubble.
the kings on the forehead next time. It'll be
Oh.
easier, right?
Whoa.
Does not get met with resistance, shows the kings, and Tony has to feel great about that. I mean, ace-queen, I very, very much expect we'll get him playing differently when one more person leaves us here. But in that case, he was drawing very, very thin just to the ace.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for the love, Mr. DeFeo. Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you. Paulie D323, no chance bin folding trips. Hard to get bin to fold a pair, Paul, let alone 3.
That's very true.
As we continue and we're waiting for our hand for hand, just more going on here at the Borgata. There's the Borgata's Bad Beat Jackpot live right now. You lose with quad deuces or better, and you're still walking away a winner. If you lose with an 8-high straight flush or better, you will hit the progressive Bad Beat Jackpot, which is currently at, going into today, was at 289,000, and is still only rising.
Dollars?
$289,000 for the progressive Bad Beat Jackpot, which is, again, losing with an 8-high straight flush or better. And whatever your game is, with mixed events, deep stacks, cash tables, there's something running every week here, and there's also cash games running on the side all throughout the summer here, every day, actually, throughout the year at the Borgata.
Whenever I lose with an 8-high straight flush, I usually, or to an 8-high straight flush, I usually just have to go back and re-register.
We had a chat on the side again as we are getting ready for the table here. I believe part of where Jason's chips came from earlier in this tournament was flopping a straight flush against a higher flush. He didn't say exactly if it was a king high or an ace high, but he said it was a very high flush that he flopped a straight flush against and managed to get I believe it was a full double up a little bit earlier in the day today. And got him well on his way. We can see him now with a little over $500,000 in chips in a hand where if he would have lost, would have been eligible for said Bad Beat Jackpot if this was a cash game, but not eligible here in the tournaments.
Important caveat.
Very important caveat. I think also today the Monster Mirror Mystery Bounty started, 250K guaranteed. It's one of my favorite events. You know, you don't have to make it deep into the tournament. You make it into the mystery, portion, and you can essentially win first or second place, by plucking that envelope,
I tell my parents, that's how I describe the mystery bounties to them. I said, 200 people could make day 2. I could be 199th out of 200. If I knock out that 200 person in 200, we can take first place.
Exactly.
We can take first place.
Live mystery bounties are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a great vibe. It's a great energy when those bounties go into play.
Yeah, don't you love when someone goes up to pull one of those early bounties, they pull the mid bounty and the whole room claps.
I was
such an Annie sweat.
It is the biggest fade of all time.
Depending on how they structure it, because a lot of places will have like you'll pull and then you get like a golden ticket or something where you then go and pull one of the large bounties from basically a separate pool from a drum or whatever it may be. I've witnessed where someone was turning in 3 bounties at the same time, and the first 2 were both drum pulls, and they were the smaller side of the drum pulls. They weren't the very, very highest bounties in the pool, but they ended up getting 2 of them back to back, got booed on the second one because they pulled a drum, and then on the third one they pulled a min bounty, and the entire room, as you mentioned, erupted into cheers.
The energy is always good.
Yep.
As we see Tony flatting, facing the +2 open with Jack 10 of hearts from Mr. Grable. He's flatting the ace-king from the cutoff, and Gregory will complete the big blind. Some interesting hands going 3 ways in terms of equity.
The ace-king for Tony, queen 10 of diamonds for Gregory, and Jack 10 of hearts for Kevin.
We're playing
Grable.
blackjack. I would bet on low cards coming out based on everything out there right now.
Queen 8-6, 2 spades, top pair for Gregory, the backdoor spades for Tony.
Gutter for Kev.
pre-flop aggressor Kevin with the action here and a gut shot is gonna fire out.
Every time check the card,
Tony,
look
based off
away,
what we've
look
seen, I'm
away.
going to expect a very
don't wanna
quick
see
fold. Just trying to work his way into the money before trying to accumulate, it seems.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Very,
I mean,
very
some people might
understandable
do
here.
that.
With a table as strong as this and people willing to be as aggressive as they are, basically picking and choosing his spots and not trying to inflate pots as we're seeing.
In any other configuration besides specifically the money bubble, I would say, like, against a table full of talented players, the argument would be to actually push the variance, right?
Yep.
And to maximize getting chips in and riding that against.
Wow, Gregory's going to just fold the top pair.
Yeah.
Just fold the top pair on the flop.
Wow.
Pot coming in for Kevin Grable there, also up over that 500,000 chip mark, and some accumulating there, and that's your bubble factor right there. That's one more player removed from this tournament, and that is 100% not being folded.
I think I could have flipped over aces, and whoever my opponent was still would have floated, just to try to crack whatever. It's fine.
If it was me, definitely.
I know you're floating, Whitesmith. I've already gotten 4-bet by you.
Did I have it?
As an ambassador.
I don't know, I folded at ace-10-0.
Probably not. I probably.
Oh my god, I 3-bet you the hand before and you had folded, so I thought the second chump. Whatever.
Yeah, I run into trouble there. If you 3-bet me a couple times in a row, I'm very quick. I'm very quick with the snap four. Now I will snap four with monsters there as well.
All right, good to know. Maybe I was lucky and you did have it. If you are at the Borgata right now and this monster mystery bounty is running, there are satellites on BetMGM Poker in New Jersey that you can study into. Not only to that, but to the National Harbor Series upcoming.
I think I could
National Harbor Series down in D.C. and then right back here not long after for the big series that we've brought up, and not too long after that is right back here again for the Fall Poker Open towards the end of October.
It never ends. It's a beautiful thing. Always poker to play.
Poker is alive and well.
It really is. It really is. And it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, throughout the tournament, we'll have some updates on the BetMGM satellite players. I know one player, James Tedrow, who satellited in, looks like he's still currently in the mix. We'll give updates as we
in the booth last Friday, I believe, here with Two Flame with David. Yeah, and he satellited in for $25. I saw him earlier today while we were getting ready to come into the stream here. At another very difficult table. Saw him at a table with Mike Bomerwald, Alex Queen, among several other names.
Was that like a 25 to 250 to 2,700 or 25 to 500?
25 to 250 to 2,700.
Yeah, so if
online satellites available in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Michigan on BetMGM.
Yeah, so if you see $2,700 and you think it's out of your bankroll, pop online and see if you can sat your way in.
And he was very happy to make the 5.5 hour trip. He's out in the western half of Pennsylvania, out in the Pittsburgh area. I actually just met him in person for the first time this week, but we've interacted many times and played against each other in the online streets. And he's been a part of the previously mentioned fantasy games as well. We continue here, blind versus blind. Looks like we had a limp check.
And now check bet raise. Gregory playing the check raise on the 7-3 deuce, my area code.
With the king jack against the top pair of Michael Renna. Very, very interesting here.
Yeah, I think with Greg's image, I don't know where this is going to go. But
you would kind of want to fold, right?
Yeah.
Because he's been playing so passively the whole day. Renna, of course, not going to give up yet.
And he's been showing the hands that he's been folding, too.
5 of spades on the turn brings in a gut shot from Michael and a very quick check from Gregory there. And I'm guessing he's shutting this down again on this stone money bubble. We'll see how Michael chooses to proceed here. See the eyebrow trying to figure out is he completely full of it and shutting down, or does he have more devious intentions here, looking at a double check raise, which is what I would love to see.
He has the equity as well. I think Renna's going to check back pretty often.
Checks back, queen of spades on the river, no change. And we're going to see a very quick bet from Gregory.
For half pot? Yeah,
45K into, yeah, just under 90. So, yeah, right around that half pot.
Yeah, Reach, it's like...
A very quick call from Michael.
Rena. 7.
Very quick call from Michael. Another pot going back towards Michael Rena.
Happy to recover some of those chips.
Chipping back up a little bit after the triple barrel into Bin Wang's trips.
Yeah, we did see him call fairly quick there, but it's also, you know, how often does Greg have just stone bluffs there? You know what I mean?
The only thought that I would have is that if Greg is capable, obviously Rena's not privy to this until the hand shows down, but if Greg's capable of check raising King Jack on the flop, he's capable of check raising combos that are other broadways. With queens, for example, that would check back
Queen, Jack, King,
and then
Queen.
Precisely,
yep.
that have now arrived at this river with top pair.
Sure.
But again, I think Rena just feel like when he checks the turn,
or like an ace 4. An ace 4 would be the one thing that might.
Yeah.
My only thought is I feel like an ace 4 would continue barreling on the turn, having the blocking principles it did, right? The straight drives on the turn.
Certainly capable of that, but on a stone bubble, if you're trying to keep in Michael Rena, let Michael
realize that equity
potentially blast a little bit.
Sure.
And we've seen Michael willing to put chips
take
in.
Some spots. Yeah. No, very true. Very true. I think it's so fun to be able to talk about the different ways that hands can go and different reasoning behind them. I think it's so interesting.
And part of what's great about us doing these feature tables this early in the tournament is we get a chance to see after late reg, before people are in the money, so we get this exact bubble dynamic. I don't remember us having had this long of a hand-for-hand in the main event in the last handful of times that we've had the main event coverage here.
Absolutely.
So we're actually getting a chance to see a little bit of an extended bubble here. And some of the ways that impacts play, we've seen people get very, very tight. We've seen the ace queen pre-flop fold to a single open. Yeah. We saw a top pair fold to
on the flop, on a flop. A c-bet and open. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can certainly see the ability to accumulate some chips, as Bin Wang has done there quite well.
Most definitely.
But a lot of people also just navigating differently than you will at any other time in the tournament.
Sure.
And a lot of the times we've been doing final table streams, and you're not seeing this part of the tournament, which is part of why getting these feature table day 2 action streams is really interesting to me. And it just changes what we get to talk about, what we get to present here on the BetMGM YouTube channel.
You know, Whitesmith, I think that's such a fantastic point. And as an avid watcher of as much poker content as I can consume, I will say I always... as I wanted to, and as a student of the game, I always said, you don't get to see how the players reach the final tables that we end up watching, right? So you miss a lot on learning in terms of how we got to this place. How did we chip up to becoming the chip leader of the final table? How did we chip down to becoming a middling stack at the final table? Were there mistakes that were made earlier on that compounded into the reasons we're at the place we're at now? Or were there really good plays made earlier on that got us to where we are now? And this gives an incredible opportunity to see how a bunch of really talented players navigate being right before the money, yet still being with 1/8 of the field left.
Yeah, and very much to that exact point, you see them playing a little bit differently, and we've seen in previous streams these people showing up on later feature table, and we'll have, I believe, after coming back from dinner break when we get to that point, we'll have a new feature table. And we've had those instances where someone's on the stream early, they leave, and then they come back, and their stack is so different, and we don't get a chance to see how some of that happens.
Absolutely.
Or we have someone today, and we have them back on tomorrow during our continuing coverage during day 3 here. And we now get to continue that story as we progress.
And how their behaviors changed as their stack has changed, and how has the tournament dynamic has changed over that time as well.
Yep. What's been really cool to see, though, is they seem to be having a good time collectively.
Most definitely. Rena's talkative, talking to me.
Let's go.
Tony. I don't think Tony's gone more than a hand or two without chirping, whether it's Ben or Jason next to him there, and Eric as well in the first seat.
Well, and you also think about too. We've had, I think it's been over 10, 15 hands since Nick was eliminated. But we also see now, if he didn't take that spot with the ace-jack, he was probably going to get blind forced.
He was going to be on before that. Yeah, true.
Going to be forced all in at blind at some point.
Astute observation. Wow, he couldn't have even squeezed in this.
No.
But that also, when we look back at it, we think back to the 9s under the gun rip from Eric Starker. That had to have been about an hour ago, right?
Yeah, at least, I think.
And that double up, him getting the double through the ace-9 of diamonds, ends up, he's still on 9, just over 9 big blinds, where if he doesn't get that double was for about 9 bigs. He would be potentially right down at the very bottom. We have some chirps on the side here, reinforcing one of the running commentary jokes that we've been going with today of Nick B in our 9th seat and Rishi having a very, very, very striking resemblance. Similar stature, similar beard.
Yeah.
Stature is a good word. You know how many people wish me luck in the main today? What a noodle.
I want to know if there's any sort of...
How'd you end up doing in this? We were talking
on the feature
before.
table right now.
Yeah,
I didn't fire the main.
You were working on the saddies here, the live saddies.
I was. They did not go well, and I decided to, transfer over my time to the booth. I love talking about poker.
We have a lot of fun here, and hopefully as we continue the action here, hopefully get a chance to see some really fun, interesting play as we continue throughout the evening. Again, on our Stone Money bubble here at the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Opens Championship event, about middle of the way, give or take, through day 2. We're getting towards the end of the first session. When the clock resumes, we'll have less than a half an hour until a dinner break. As we continue here, we should be in the money relatively soon. It could be any hand, as we are on the stone bubble hand for hand. That stone bubble, a $6,400 and a little bit of change payout for everybody. The final 71 that do make the money today.
I ran into BetMGM Poker Ambassador Mike Lavin today, and I was like, "Is that you on BetMGM? Is that your screen name?" He's like, "It is." And we had been at the same table for that main event Saturday. He's like, "Yeah, I was throwing stuff at you."
Nice.
Thanks, Lav.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
We see a 3-bet here from Anthony with the ace-jack. Gregory going to call the 5-4 clubs. Ace-king 10.
Yeah.
1 club for Anthony. Top pair and a gut shot.
Check, flop.
3 of spades on the turn. Brings in a wheel draw for Gregory.
I think Zeno's going to have to continue now. Delete C-bet this turn.
So I think we're going to get well, he's got him covered, so he can kind of size up if he so chose, but I don't know what we just saw. We didn't see the chips behind the hat.
30's fine. I don't know how much he went with. He went
13 not going to be enough to get the wheel draw out.
Greg the price to peel the gutter.
There is only 1-2 left. The 7 of spades will not do it. 106,000 in the pot, 164 behind for Gregory. We'll see how Anthony chooses to proceed here. Looks like he's grabbing some chips behind our, I believe, Eric Starker's hat. 26K. And we're going to get a check raise here from Gregory to 115, committing a significant chunk of his remaining stack on the stone bubble.
Gosh.
The 7 of spades coming in brings in a potential flush draw. We see Anthony holding the ace of spades.
Backdoor. What is Gregory's raising range here? Like ace-7?
Oh, Zeno does have the ace of spades.
So is it like
so there's no nut flush?
King, queen of spades, king, jack of spades.
Queen, jack of spades probably. Did flop go check? It did.
Flop went check.
Doesn't even give Gregory a chance to. Wow.
I don't think we're going to see the queen jack of spades checking two times here.
Yeah, correct.
I think we're going to have seen him bet the turn if he had the queen jack of spades.
Greg was out in position, so he wouldn't have been able to chance to bet the turn because Zeno led the turn. Maybe it would have raised the turn though. So yes, I would agree.
Fair.
I would agree. Maybe it would have raised the turn.
Is this going to be enough of a size to get Zeno off here?
Well, he's just saying all in. I guess the sizing itself is
he's
relatively
very,
but he's basically just all
he's
in.
very much not, because you can see him with 6 big blinds left in a really, really tough spot for Anthony.
This is a really insane. Gregory's just figuring what Zeno's capped after he checks back the flop. Is that the reasoning? This is an insane hand. Wow.
Like I think I peel Ooh, he reaches for chips. I think I peel like a king, queen, king, jack of spades and play this exactly the same way. And I really like the sizing.
Wow, and it gets through.
And it works. The 5-4
Look at
club.
this. He's so
happy.
proud of himself. Aye, natural nine.
Yeah, shows it.
He sees that.
You see the smile on Michael Renna's face there.
All right.
You were not wanting to call.
With the windmill,
You were not
too.
wanting to call.
That just switched his image around 360 degrees.
He's on stream, so I guess he figures it's a bit less necessary to protect the information. But damn, I would not have shown that one if I wasn't on stream.
That's a fun one right there.
Wow, 5 high,
Huge bluff right there for Gregory Bauer, bringing him back up to about 300,000 in chips. That is fun.
That nut blocker was important for Zeno to be holding, but I guess it becomes less relevant when after check flop there's so many combos like you said of flush that do raise the river.
The open like the king queen, king 10, king jack,
king 9 of spades even that just peeled the trigger.
But as we see the celebrations here. They are going to be in the money. It sounds like. We are gonna.
They've made it. That sounds like.
Yep.
Our graphic is updated. Yeah, and keep in mind, he folded top pair, queen 10 on that from the big blind. Only to do that on the stone money bubble.
Yeah, and
as Lakshay has pointed out, yes.
I won't spoil too much for players or for anybody viewing at home, but you can go take a look at pokernews.com and get updates on each hand or tables that are action that's going on elsewhere in the tournament. But it looks like there was a massive cooler where Drew O'Connell had pocket kings against Luis Esposito's pocket queens. On an ace-4-3, 6-7 run out. That doesn't make any sense.
That sounds like that might have gotten in pre-flop.
Yeah. And it looks like
that was our bubble hand.
That was our bubble hand.
Do we know the size of the pot? What Esposito had, maybe?
It looked like it was. Looks like he was all in for 95K from the hijack. Drew had called for 143K, so 250K approximately.
Well, congrats to the remaining 71, to the nine gentlemen we have at the table, and many other men and women throughout the field for making the money here have guaranteed themselves a minimum payout of $6,445. Our next pay jump is 55th place. We'll bump up about 900 to 7,300 and some change as we'll continue here now in the money at the championship event of the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Open powered by BetMGM. We are heads up going to the flop. Bin Wang, the pre-flop aggressor with the ace-3 of diamonds. Jason Seller calling the queen jack of hearts. Quickly checks through the 6-6-8 flop with 2 spades. 3 of diamonds on the turn. Action on Bin Wang. Very quick check again. And the jack of diamonds on the river. We saw that we were missing most of, I believe, all of the queens for Jason. So Jason picks up one of 3 outs. Might have been a 4th out here on the river. To have the best hand and the check mark pair of jacks, we're going to get a small little bet from him here. 15K into the 42.
So Ben can actually fold for this size, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that he's going to feel really comfortable that he's beating with how quickly Jason was checking.
Just a little nugget he's asking for, a little 15K. Ben just got 660K on the bubble there. Yeah, 15K.
And gets shown the jack. I think sometimes going for a more polar size in situations like that can be more beneficial than betting. You know, that's.
Yeah, now you're going to see a lot of play being opened up yet again. You know, back to chip value. Stacks flying in there.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a little bit more comfort in putting chips in from a few of the spots here where people were passing on situations where, you know, on that stone bubble before they had locked up their $6,400. We do have 2 short stacks, one Eric Starker in the seat 1 position in the big blind now, having committed. He had just over 9 big blinds going in, having committed 2 big blinds here with the big blind and the big blind ante. getting to a point where he's going to be looking to make a move relatively soon, as well as Nick B in our small blind on about 12 big blinds.
As we see Mike Renna find the open with the Queen 10-0.
And Nick B in the small blind on that 12 big blinds with Ace Jack. This feels like this is just going to get quick tank and then shoved.
I think we're in the money. Now that we're in the money now,
Maybe a nice juicy cheesesteak.
I think I'm sending this in. Good luck, me. Yeah, Renna's opening off piles of chips. Our hand performs well against his range from the hijack open.
Yep, and we've seen the range of the open, and there is the all-in.
Wish me luck, boys.
And if we know Michael from past performances, past appearances, or just having played with him at different times throughout the years, we know that the aggression is not going to stop.
Most definitely.
Even after having lost some of that large stack over to Bin Wang.
Would you have done that
So
5 minutes ago?
pretty straightforward rip. Still has to get the chips in. Nick B scooping back up to 130K, so getting that little bit of extra breathing room, up over 15 bigs, and that difference right there between 11 bigs and 15 is massive.
Fairly
at this point of the
significant. Yeah,
tournament.
most definitely. Most definitely.
I love that we could have hands right after another. Now viewers at home could see the action instead of us droning on and
fix.
talking about Wade Smith's Bengal suit and all that good stuff.
We have a little bit of time. Part of the benefit of getting a chance to do this is at this part of the tournament is we get to see the different styles and types of play and parts of the tournament.
Absolutely.
One of the drawbacks is it does bring in a little bit of that dead time, that dead air while we're waiting for hands on other tables to complete. And I don't think anyone who's met me would say that I have a tough time filling some of that dead air. But we are continuing here, and we are now out of our hand for hand and resuming normal play. With about 22 minutes left in this level before a dinner break. We see an open from Kevin Grable, late position, a jam from Eric in the small blind.
And Grable, I think, has to call for
five bigs.
5.25 big. Yes, he does.
Is going to make the call. Eric Starker is going to be all in and at risk with a pair of fives. You can see he is ahead.
I don't think Kevin Grable loses these, though.
And Kevin Grable, you can see here, calls 2 overs, pretty close to a flip, but you can see a little bit more on the 60-40 side with Eric currently favored to double up. We'll need to dodge a queen, a 9, or some straight or flush possibilities here to stay alive here in the 2026 Summer Open. And there's a 5 on the flop.
Does lose these barring an 8 or a 6
pretty close to drawing dead on that flop.
7 does lose these sometimes. The small ones.
7 on the turn, locks it up. 4 on the river, no change. Eric Starker, another double up here. Also, right back to that 130K spot, up over 15 bigs. Same with Nick B. You can see our updated chip counts as we are in the money here with 70 left, continuing action at the 2026.
I will also say, White Smith, I think you made a really good point earlier, and especially for, we have a really good mix of professional poker players, regular poker players, and recreational poker players who are all listening into these streams. I think you made a really good point in terms of the difference between 12 and 15 big blinds. And I think often when we get to the end of our tournament life and we look at, for example, a flip that we lost, ace-king versus a pair or things like that, we're like, it was this moment that caused me to lose the tournament. It was losing this flip. But what we do miss is some of the hands that we played before that were inflection points to leading to how many chips or how many big blinds we had that maybe would have influenced someone folding for the extra 9 or 10 bigs. If Nick B, a.k.a. me, had taken a spot earlier that when he ripped his ace-jack just now, Mike Renna may have had incentive to call off with his queen 10-0 and with his 40% equity knock Nick out of the tournament. So I think every hand, even prior to reaching these points, is an inflection point, and we can look back, as a lesson.
Hold on, we have a hand brewing here.
We have Bin Wang as ace-queen.
We have Michael Renna raising the pair of 8s. We have Eric Starker ripping the button for 130K. That's 16 bigs with his pair of 7s.
And yeah, because he has to deal with Renna.
Bin getting out of the way with ace-queen, and very quick call from Michael. And Eric going to be all in and at risk again. And Eric sees the bad news that Michael has a higher pocket pair. We do have 1-8 that we saw folded at late position.
No,
So
only me. He doesn't raise anybody
Eric
else.
Starker all in and at risk with his pair of 7s against the pair of 8s of Michael Renna. And both heart and club potential flushes would go the way of Michael Renna. The suits line up as well, so no backdoor flush possibility for Eric. 8 in the window, the case 8 is going to send
Take care, guys.
Eric Starker to the rail here. Looks like you should end in about 70th position here.
He was
Very well navigated to get into the money, make the money for Eric Starker. $64,445 for his efforts in terms of a payout.
GG to you, sir.
Well played, Eric. And one final shout out to his girlfriend Mandy from him as well.
GG to Eric.
As we see one of our other very popular dealers popping up behind the table there, helping get Eric to the payouts.
Is that Billy?
That is Billy.
Billy the kid?
All right.
Oh, let's go. That's where you
Billy the Chin.
where you want to get him out.
And again, updated chip counts here. Michael Renna back up over 650,000 chips, 81 and change big blinds as we continue. And Bin Wang, far and away our table chip leader, over 1.4 million in chips. We can see potentially the tournament overall chip lead. Definitely one of the top couple stacks here with about 68, 69 people left in the championship event here at the Borgata.
Big Bulber's asking for some more Bengal suit discussion, please.
I think we are good with that one. That has been asked, answered, and covered. Kevin Grable with the Cowboys going to open from the hijack.
It looked like there was an ace-10 fold, unless the graphic was incorrect, from Zeno.
Bin Wang, queen 10 of clubs in the small blind. Action folds to him.
You can probably flat this somewhat off. I mean, it is facing late position open. You might want to 3-bet.
Looks like we're going to get the flat. And 9-2 off for Jason. The big blind hits the muck. Will bring us to a flop heads up. Bin Wang's queen 10 of clubs against Kevin Grable's king. Jack 9-3. Little bit right there for Bin. Getting the open end. Unfortunately, that he doesn't know, blocked by Kevin's overpair with the kings. Bin going to check the straight draw over to Kevin.
Bin Wang loves having equity.
Yeah, and he does. And it'll be interesting to see how he wants to proceed here.
20,000 from Kevin into the 50,000 chip pot over to Bin.
Okay, check raises, flats, all on the table.
I think flat's better here. Let's see if Bin agrees.
He grabs calling chips, is going to make the call.
He concurs.
90,000 chips in the pot as we go to the turn. Queen of spades on the turn. It gives top pair to Bin Wang. Still the open end. Overpair and a gut shot for Kevin here with his pair of kings.
It is an interesting card because you think Ben's going to be flatting with a lot of his Broadways, here.
This is interesting. This connects a lot with,
So, a lot of two-pair combinations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come in.
Absolutely.
He's going to
go check.
Jack of diamonds on the river. May be an action killer for Kevin. We'll see how Ben chooses to approach this.
Ben has a lot of jacks on the flop that he floats with as well, that he could play the small blind with.
We get, it looks to be almost, this is looking
42?
like a blocker size. Oh no, that's not a blocker size bet. I think you're right. 42,000 from Ben here.
A little under half pot. I don't think Grable can ever fold.
I don't think he's going anywhere. Do you think he's thinking? No, there's no reason.
He's going to call. Yep, we get a fairly quick call. Ben flipping over the queen 10, thinking he may be good, and seeing the bad news. Kevin Grable going to scoop 174,000 chip pot with the pair of kings, or the two pair with the kings and jacks. And that'll bring Kevin back up to a very, very healthy 549,000 chips as we see
Trophy and cash shot.
Trophy and cash shot right next to the table. You see the classic Borgata trophy. We will be playing for that, I believe, Friday. That and the BetMGM trophy, a pair of trophies, and heaps of cash. 242,000 for first place. We'll get to that this Friday.
Cooch, you were just about to say Bin is just. I imagine you were noting his stoicism in response.
Yeah,
to
I think he saw that Grable had Pike and Kings, and he was like, "Oh my God, I could have won a lot of chips if the King fell off, or even an 8 there."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, most definitely. Here's the Kevin Grable we know.
8 raises to 17,000, 9 folds.
Gonna try and ride a heater. We're gonna get an open from Kevin up to 17,000 with a 10-8 offsuit.
I think he feels like, you know, if you look at the players behind him and how they've been playing, if he gets by Bin, you know, it's been pretty passive, you know, so it's almost like he's opening in the cutoff.
Our
right?
big blind is going to fold in.
Really astute
An
observation.
ace-5 offsuit is not defending the big blind.
Did he show?
I'm going to look on the street. Just tell me.
Oh, no, he did not show it.
This is what's wrong with the 30-minute delay. He's got like poker friends doing analysis. No, they're back here. Oh, really? Oh, they're on a 30-minute delay. Oh, I get it.
Wait.
Was it a good fold?
What was his assumption?
He was wondering that if we were on a 30-minute delay, and they're just going to discuss it, and we were talking about this on the delay, and he just looked over and asked us if that was a good fold with the ace-5. And you know what? What I'll say is I would not have made that fold. I would have defended my ace-5 in a big blind there for that open, and as deep as Gregory is. But I will also say we're here in the booth, and I'll hopefully never say from the booth to not play the way that you're comfortable with.
Sure.
So if he doesn't like playing a weak ace, an off-suited ace out of position like that, I'm not going to say don't do it. I would have played it a little bit differently myself, but he's there. He's there, and he's got $6,400 minimum going to him, and we're back here, and we're not collecting $6,400 or more.
Love how I turned into we once it became us not being in the money of this main event. Thank you, Whitesmith. I appreciate becoming a part of the collective.
Well, you're kind of there.
True. Tony.
We go.
Has flopped the second flush draw.
The workman.
What did that just? Okay, I was gonna say our graphic jumped to an all-in and then back to a 20K.
Wouldn't that have been crazy?
That would have been a rather large bet. The c-bet for Tony with the king-jack with the spade flush draw is going to be good enough to take down a pot and get Tony back up over that 300,000 chip mark.
He just rakes it in real quick. Easy game.
Hello?
Hi, Tony.
Cool, I can't talk. I can't talk right now. I'm on a live stream in a big tournament.
He's.
I'll talk to you in just a minute.
That's fun. That's fun.
We love the guy at the table who's hitting the Siri chat. Here's Siri message.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Unless he was on the phone.
I think he was on the phone.
I think he got a phone call. I think he got a phone
He threw it
call.
on speaker.
I think he got a phone call.
Chips. They might want to keep us on here.
That was fun.
We hear Nick saying they might want to keep us on here. This has been a very fun table. We've got some very good players, some very fun personalities on the table. We'll see what they choose to do. We have, in prior championship events, we've done both where we've brought in new feature tables, and there's been times where we've kept the same feature table. So we'll see as tables do continue to consolidate, as people get knocked out as we're in the money here. If we end up, our table may also be one of the consolidation tables at some point. If they keep us with the same feature table or bring on a whole new feature table after dinner break, which is in just under 10 minutes.
Anthony has chosen to defend his ace-5 offsuit from the big blind.
Yeah, I was going to say, before we get to that, we have action going on. Heads up, Bin Wang opening pair of threes, and as mentioned, Anthony defending the ace-5 on a 10-10-2 flop.
It almost looks like with Zeno's glasses, he's like has his eyes closed. But then you can see the blinks, and you're like, oh wait, no, he is alive.
You're right. He's just looking down. Yes.
We have did I just hear my name get called? I'm curious who collection agency is.
33.
5 on the turn gives Anthony the pair.
Check, check.
Could
the
be Tony.
higher pair.
Could be Tony from the dinner break.
Could be Tony, yeah, just in there.
That would be great. Yeah, we are with the delay that we're on. They will be at their dinner, so they could be watching the stream right now.
That is awesome. Deuce on the river.
We're both like 800.
This will probably go check as well, unless Zeno wants to leave.
I like a little value here from Tony.
Against Ben Wang, who can just grab a stack of pinks and just be like, now what?
Yeah, but what's Ben checking twice here?
No, Ben C-bet the flop.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Then check the turn. But Tony does concur with you. And
yeah.
And it's probably going to work.
That's a good size bet, too.
The way he grabbed it was so interesting. It didn't even look like he cut out the chips.
60K, just under pot size.
Real estate, 3660. Thank you so much for the love, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Ben
trying to decide if because he's gonna beat an ace high.
That's what I was just
that
about
might
to
be
say.
trying to bet off another ace. But the ace-5 not gonna be something he beats. He is gonna make the call. See the bad news in just a moment. Here as Anthony is gonna scoop up a pot, bring him back up close to 400,000 chips, and that might be is that the first pot that we've seen Anthony take down at the table here?
We've seen him take down a few.
A couple early. I think maybe a 3. I think we saw a couple of 3-bet, a couple of pre-flop. But a very nice pot goes the way of Anthony.
We're gonna do that before the break starts. So please do not run off.
All right, well.
Do I get to keep the mic?
We can hear
Yeah,
them
it's been
preparing
fun
for this
being on
upcoming
the
dinner
live
break.
stream.
Dinner vouchers.
Dinner vouchers are a fantastic
I enjoyed
thing.
it, most definitely.
You heard Billy? You just tap Nick on the back. He said, good luck, Reach.
You can see the countdown in the top corner, both sides, the 6 minutes and 40 seconds or so for our players until this dinner break.
While I'm on.
As we get towards that, we will be taking a long break with them. So we'll actually be stopping the stream. We'll have a new stream started up at the end of that dinner break in the same exact spot. It will be on the BetMGM YouTube channel here. It'll just be a brand new link, a brand new stream as we come back from that dinner break. Again, we're on a 30-minute delay, so our players are already on that break, which may have
so you think
been the chirp that led into the chat here.
Most definitely. Over 500 of you with us, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us, chat. We hope to see all of you over on the next one.
I'm in the market for a job. I'm looking for
look
a
at
job.
this. As Anthony wakes up with King 10-0 in small blind, and Kevin has Big Slick in the big blind.
We get it was going to be a limp, and we're certainly seeing ISO here from Kevin.
Most definitely, probably go up to about 16,000.
I would expect him to go more than that, right? Because it's 8K big blind.
Oh, it's 8K. Excuse me. About
yeah, the call
25,000 or 30. You called 4K, right? About 30,000 should be fine as well.
And we get 32.
Yeah, exactly. 4X is what
exactly
I was
what you were trying. The exact multiplier, just the different number.
You get me, Whitesmith.
We saw the small blind call, so and a very quick fold.
Luck from Zeno. Wow.
Very, very disciplined. King 10 is not a weak hand by any stretch.
Especially blind versus blind.
Out of position against a player of Kevin's ability, it's a hand that's not going to play incredibly well. You can very easily have both cards dominated.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think at a time like this with 71 left, and I think I make this mistake often even while playing, this becomes more of a game of spot selection.
Yeah.
Is this the right spot? Is this a spot that I need or should take right now? Is this a profitable spot for me to take? Because I just worked from 565 people down to 71, and now from 71 to 1 is going to be really important.
I believe we saw 68 as well. So
even more so, yeah.
We've lost a couple because we did lose one of the ones here at our table when Eric Starker lost with these 7s to the 8s. So we know we were under 70. I think I saw 68 in the top corner.
Do we have the pay jumps?
I do. Yeah, so our next pay jump is at 55th. So we still have a ways to go for the next ladder. That's a $900 ladder. After that, it's all the way down to 39th.
Wow.
For a $1,400 ladder.
Wow.
And then by the time we get to 31st, we get into 5 figures. We're up over $10,000. And then it just goes up from there. We've seen the top 10 on of payouts on the screen a few times throughout the day. We won't be getting to that today, but we'll be getting. I would expect we'll get through that first ladder, potentially even to that second ladder, depending on how quickly we drop some people after the dinner break.
Almost positive it's per day.
Looks like 66 now as I'm looking at the screen in the top right corner. So. either my eyes were bad the first time or we just lost a couple out in the field, again, as we approached the dinner break. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those short stacks might just say, hey, I'm going to try and find a double before dinner. Or, you know, take my $6,400 and chill.
I was thinking about that with, I forget who was in seat 1 before, but Eric who had doubled up and he had the 7s. I was like, oh, it's going to be nice, you know, going to the dinner with 16 big blinds.
Facing the 7s,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
The 16 big blinds instead of going to dinner with like 4.
That's the most tilting. Where you come back and you're like, oh my god, yeah, most definitely.
I got to go back and like bust in like 2 minutes.
Also, I retweeted it, but Cooch, if you want to let them know your Twitter, the chat, because I presume you'll be posting the new stream link just as you did the old stream link when it gets up there after dinner break.
Yeah, Nick_Amakuchi, both X and Instagram. I will post the link. It's also on the BetMGM YouTube channel. If you go there, you'll be able to see the new link up there.
Exactly where we're at now in that live section. It'll be right there at the top when we are back live. And I think we are down under about 3 minutes, so we should have only another hand or 2, maybe 3, depending on how quickly we get through, if we get any post-flop action here.
Well, if Rish continues to tank here, we're only going to get through 1.
I have quack.
Rish, with the pair of 2s, facing a late position open, is just going to lay it down.
For 13 or 14, 13, 8, 104, yeah, for about 15.
We get a defend of the big blind for Tony with the 8-7 of spades. We're going to go heads up to a flop. Anthony with the queen 8 of diamonds. Ace, ace, 9, 2 hearts. Anthony ahead with the queen high. The pre-flop aggressor action checks over to him.
You get put on like a day 2.
You're right, yeah.
Only 1-7 left.
I'd love to see like 10K here, right? Just like that, one big. It looks like he's going to go a little higher. It looks about 20K.
I think the small bet is fine as well because I don't think there's that many floats or continues on this texture. So I think small bet does the same job.
Yep.
But I guess he does big bet just to deny some more of that equity. And
yeah, maybe some of the backdoor spades that have a card above the 9 might float, something along those lines.
Yeah, true.
Certainly lower pairs too. A pocket pair might call for 10K to try and hit a set, even if they're against an ace.
Sizing, they may be less incentivized knowing that a big bet could be arriving on the turn. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Every time you said Tony before, Cooch, so now every time I hear Tony, I just think of, I like the one that says some
When did James Gandolfini
Sopranos reference.
He was.
What an iconic show.
Brilliantly done. That top card, nope. Yep, there you go. I think we fixed it.
Where was that filmed exactly? In New Jersey or?
The Sopranos? It sounds like he's asking.
I'm curious.
I just said it.
It sounds like he is.
I'm curious if we're going to get context on what he was saying.
Did they have part of it in Atlantic City? Yeah. They did.
Perhaps they're referring to Boardwalk Empire?
That was what came to my mind, was potentially Boardwalk Empire.
Another classic show, brilliantly done.
I saw a lot of the early seasons of that. I didn't see the later seasons.
Likewise, ditto. Buscemi was brilliant. The writing was stunning.
Was Chalky
White
was
Omar from The Wire.
Omar.
Michael.
Yeah, I know. As soon as you say the name, it's right there. It's the tip of the tongue.
Michael K. Williams? Or is that Michael K. Williams, the one from This Is Us?
I think the players are
Michael K. Williams. Yeah.
K. Williams.
Players are taking a little bit of time on this one just so they don't have to
it sounds
potentially
like
play another one.
Maybe our last hand before dinner. We have 3-way to the flop. An open from Anthony with a pair of 5s. Tony with the 10-3 of offsuit in the small blind.
3 to a straight flush wrapped around that queen and 9 of spades. I guess he figures we're
Unless
about
we
to
got
go
a limp.
on break.
It sounds like, excuse me, based on the math, I think Tony limped. Apologies. Was looking up the actor.
Anthony limped the hijack?
Anthony limped the hijack.
And then was
Tony
completed and then
gonna lead.
Ben raising
the lead. Wow. And Anthony getting out of the way.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a find from Ben.
Love it. That's the Ben we've been waiting to see a little bit of throughout the day.
And it looks like we're going on break.
We are. It should be a 75-minute break, a 75-minute dinner break. This stream is going to be shut down. Like you said a few times in the last handful of minutes, we will be back on a new link in the same BetMGM YouTube channel. We'll be live in about 75 minutes as we continue coverage here on the Day 2 feature table of the 2026 Borgata Summer Poker Opens Championship event in the money. Matt McNeil with Nick Amakuchi and Rishi. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck the rest of the evening with whatever you fire tonight.
Appreciate you, sir.
And we'll catch up with you guys after this 75-minute break.
Much love, chat.